What's happening, everybody? The world's a better place because you were here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. And as we approach the end of January in this final week, we got lots to talk about and what's trending in our world. Ryan and Jose with me. What's up?
How's it going? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What's up, guys?
Tweetcap Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday indeed. And just want to remind you before we talk about what's going on in the world, don't forget like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X/Twitter at PodCavoPod. We're at TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And don't you forget to check out our friends at Magic Mind who have given us the deal of a lifetime. Thanks to its signature nootropics and vitamins, this little green tea shot that you can have will enhance your life either with the mood boosting shots or the sleep aid shots. Go to magicmind.com/PCJAN for 45% off your purchase in the month of January. So only a few days to go. Be sure to get it right away and enjoy it, everybody.
Or both.
Magicmind.com/PCJAN. And as Ryan said, get both as well. Highly recommend it. So this week, you know, President had his first week, had things that made people happy, made people sad, made people angry. We're not going to get into that. There's nothing to dwell on there. It is what it is, right? But the one thing to distract the United States of America is its favorite football league, its favorite sports league, the NFL. And the NFL had a crucial weekend, the conference championship weekend. The AFC and NFC championships took place this Sunday. You can see my show, my initial reaction to those two games. That is available on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. That is the productive NFL Conference Championship Sunday reaction. So to add on to that and the more viral things to it, we're going to start the show with it. So it's always fun to double dip on a tweet cap and a show geared towards one subject, that being the AFC and NFC championships. So as you know, your Super Bowl this year, the 2024 season is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, a matchup that I am confident in saying the country as a nation is not too thrilled about. In fact, it might even be the worst case scenario, and we'll point out reasons why. But the Chiefs won by a score of 32-29 off of the Buffalo Bills, and the Eagles won by a score of 52-23 over the Washington Commanders. So we'll hit on the more fun things that are related to it. And if you care about the X's and O's with the football game, it's with the two football games itself, again, check out my reaction to that on all podcasting platforms and YouTube, the productive conference championship reaction. So Chiefs and the Bills. Tail the tape. The Chiefs get to their fifth Super Bowl in 7 years and their third straight. And they are also going to get there by defeating the Buffalo Bills for the fourth time in the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen era. So that's what you have there. The Chiefs are back, had the opportunity to do a three-peat, which no one has ever done in the Super Bowl era for the NFL. Now, one team has won 3 straight Super Bowls. Few have won 2 straight, but no one's won 3 straight. In fact, they're the first team to actually try it. San Francisco 49ers were just short as the closest team back in the 80s in Joe Montana era. So they got their history going on there. But what is the one thing that history will tell us about the Kansas City Chiefs in the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid era? Let me ask you guys first. What in your mind at this moment will be the Chiefs' legacy? Do you see it as this dominant team that has made it fair and square, or something else?
I mean, I know where this is going, and you know my thoughts on it, but I'll say this. I do think that this era, at the end of it, when it's done, this era will be one that is defined by the skill level of Patrick Mahomes and of Andy Reid. I think you have a really hard time, in my opinion, not coming to the very real conclusion that Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I mean, there was a stat, so he's the most successful Chiefs coach, and it's Chiefs Eagles. He's also the most successful Eagles coach.
That's right.
So I think that factually, there's nothing we can say or do, or no videos we can show that take away the fact that Andy Reid may very well be one of the best coaches in professional football. So that's one. And then two is, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is an incredibly gifted athlete in a way that we've never seen a quarterback play. He could do so many different things as good as so many different people who previously have never been able to put that together in that way. His play style is somehow all of it. And he's not the only one now who plays that way, but he does keep winning, which I think will bring us to what everybody's going to say the answer is because we're all mad that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again.
How about you, Jose? What's the Chiefs' legacy right now for you?
Oh, easy. Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's a reason. Okay,
That's
funny,
it.
good one there. All right,
Easy, easy. You know what? Wait, that was way less words than I said.
Yeah, I just keep it simple. It's
Keep
about
it simple.
Taylor.
Taylor Swift.
You
listen.
think if Taylor Swift wasn't, you think it gives anybody any realistic to get this much coverage?
I mean, a three-peat might. Last year
Yeah,
they
on
wouldn't have.
Sports Center all day, sure. 24/7, you get around the clock coverage on Sports Center,
But
sure.
yeah,
But this is
last year.
everywhere. This is you
Yeah,
go everywhere. It's on TMZ. It's on
yeah,
fucking
yeah. No,
E.
that's
It's
Taylor
like
Swift. You're
literally
right.
you everywhere you go, it's all over the place. I'm
That's
kind of
true.
that's why it makes me sick of the fucking Chiefs. Nobody gave a shit about the Chiefs
The last
to
year,
the first year. Well, then last year they started because of the romance, and
the
now it's
Swift
like
thing.
kind of
Yeah.
like fuck, man. This bitch comes in, and all of a sudden they're like, they're not even destroying teams. They're just winning by
Yeah, well, yeah,
one
that I think
point,
that's probably
three
where we're gonna
points.
get
Yeah,
into that conversation now. And I agree with that, which fine. But yes, Taylor Swift is actually as much as that was funny, yeah, the last 2 years in particular have been dominated by even if it's not her, like she's not on TV like she used to be for them last year, but just her presence in that in the
it's
love life of one of their players has made that team like celebrity. Like that's the
Yeah,
team. People know them all around the world now because of the Taylor Swift thing. And that is true. And that's something that's probably never happened, like
it's it
realistically.
not on this
it's
level, definitely not.
it's news when she's not there.
It's news when she is there, turns out.
It's
It's
both
just news in
either or,
general.
yeah,
Chiefs
either or,
games are
yeah.
news. Chiefs
Now
games are
they're
news.
right.
Either
It's
she's there or she's not.
speculation. It's always a
Yeah.
speculation why she's not there. Did they break up? Are they fighting? And all this bullshit. Like I
Yeah.
give two shits. I
As we
care.
done on this show.
Uh,
Yeah. No, we've
so
absolutely done that. But yes, you're right, Jose. I laughed at you, but you know what? Good answer.
thank you.
Taylor Swift era.
So as we break down with the Chiefs right now, on an objective stance, truly, at this time, the way that the Kansas City Chiefs have been able to win all these games is apparent. With obviously Andy Reid turning into an immortal coach. He's a Mount Rushmore, not only Hall of Famer, an immortal coach.
Hmm.
Patrick Mahomes turning out being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Travis Kelsey being one of the best tight ends of all time, and now even making a case that he is the best tight end of all time. Chris Jones, one of the best defensive ends, who's been there the whole run as well. The Chiefs, no doubt, have made their mark in NFL history. But at the same time, on what can be considered as a subjective opinion, but there's plenty of evidence that shows otherwise, I also believe the Chiefs' legacy at this moment will be defined as a team that would always get close calls and always have what seems to be a ref's bias. I know this is a subjective part, but there's just too many pieces of evidence that shows the Chiefs always get these very weird calls that go their way. Now, you can say that that's just star power, and all the sports have had that go their way. You could point out to the Bulls and Michael Jordan getting calls. You could point out to the Yankees dynasty in the late '90s. They got some pretty stupid calls going their way, and I'm a Yankee fan saying that. Um, the Chiefs as well, especially since 2018, specifically with Tom Brady stopped playing, and the Chiefs played Tom Brady twice, and he beat him. And ever
Yeah.
since Tom Brady left, they've had some weird things go their way, very strange things, where the point that it is a narrative across the United States. That's objective to say and point these out that the Chiefs always get these weird ass calls going their way. And trust me, that doesn't that doesn't automatically give a pass to the teams that they lost to, whether it was Josh Allen 4 chances and never able to break away, never getting more than a field goal lead, um, and never just pushing away. Lamar
Mhm.
Jackson, the same thing. They're also not immortal. Joe Burrow has beaten them. Joe Burrow and the Bengals have beaten them in the AFC Championship. Same as Tom Brady, who the Pats early on beat them in the AFC Championship, and even beat him in the Super Bowl against the Bucks. But I do think at this time, despite you do have to acknowledge the greatness of the Chiefs in the Andy Reid era, they've also had a lot of questionable calls go their way. And that definitely happened in the season this year. That
Mhm.
happened during the divisional round for the Texans and Chiefs. And now that has happened for the Bills and Chiefs in this year's AFC Championship. While the Bills definitely also messed up the opportunities, you know, the questionable play calling, why James
Yep.
Cook wasn't facilitated as much as he should be. There were some weird times they went to Ty Johnson instead of him. The fact that they
Mhm.
failed not one, but two-point conversions. And obviously some other things we're going to point out. The Bills had their opportunities to win. And you got to acknowledge that. Make sure you put that in the clip too, Dolo, if you make this one. The Bills definitely aren't off the hook, but I have a few examples of some things going the Chiefs' way where you shouldn't be annoyed or surprised that a lot of people, both professionally and unprofessionally, point out the Chiefs seem to have a weird bias against them when it comes to the refs. Is that fair to say?
I mean, yeah, I think it is. I know that it's not popular to say that with certain subsects of people. And it's not all just like Chiefs fans, because it means to be like, well, of course, Chief fans don't like it. But there's a lot of
Yeah,
people
well,
who just they don't like the idea of like conspiracy ruining
yeah.
everything. And I'm actually, by the way, one of those people. We have way too many conspiracy theorists on the internet, just saying whatever comes to their mind. But in this case, there are stats. I mean, like I was looking at this stat and it was like this was before the Bills game. So that's
Yeah.
not even counting the Bills game, but before the Bills game, in the 11 playoff games since 2021, the Chiefs' opponents have had 10 games, so 10 of 11 games with at least 10 penalties against them, while Kansas City have had 0 games with 10 plus penalties against them. So in from 2021 till now, the Chiefs have not had in the playoffs anywhere near the amount of penalties that their opponents always have. And there's not a single game in that span of time that I just mentioned where the Chiefs have been penalized more than their opponents. So it's not even like, oh, that one game where the other team didn't get 10, they
Yeah.
got 5, the Chiefs got 6. No. Even in the one game out of 11 where the other team didn't get 10 plus penalties, they still had more than the Chiefs had that game. And so I think that I don't want to say it rigged or anything like that. I think that's kind of silly. I mean, listen, I find it very funny the idea of like an NFL script. I would love for it to be true, frankly, but I don't think it is true. What I do think it is, and I could be, from on high, could just be like you said, star power. We see this happen in the NBA all the time. Bigger
Yeah.
stars absolutely draw more fouls. Um, and also, not for nothing, just if we're giving logical reasons why this could be happening, it could be Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Maybe they're better at drawing fouls. Like genuinely, they're just better at making the other team mess up and
I'll tell you
getting
one
the
thing.
fouls. Like
It's not
that's
part of it's
possible,
it's
right?
not part of the clips, but Kelsey's taunting, which is not allowed. That is a
Well,
straight
yeah,
up penalty. He taunts
yeah.
all the time. He
No, he
taunts
does.
against the Bills. Not one call for that. That's
Actually,
where that
yeah, and then
happened.
what happened is one of the Bills got up in his face and told him to back off, and then that guy actually got a call. But
Right?
in this game, but in general, yeah, I'm not talking about that. But I mean like the
Yeah.
offsides, the pass interference, like it's possible they just wrote up these plays, wrote up these routes, and had it's technically possible. But I think the facts are the facts. Every time there's a close play and a flag, it helps the Chiefs. Every time.
every time.
I mean, statistically, every time. Like that's what I mean.
Mhm.
Everyone's like, you're just no. Like there's a number from
There's
2021
you.
till
There's a
yeah, from 2021 to today, every time. And
right.
so like, what you call that what you want. I don't think it diminishes them, and I also don't. I mean, diminishes them a little bit, but I don't think it
Yeah.
diminishes them completely. Obvious, you know what I mean? Like it's not like they're propping up a bad team to be the Super Bowl champions. Like the Chiefs can still obviously play football pretty
Yeah.
well at an elite level, I would say. But yeah, it is happening. Everyone can see it. The ABC broadcast team called it out.
Yep.
Adam Schefter essentially called it out. He kind of
Yep.
backtracked and said, "I didn't call it out. I just
Because
read a stat." But
he
in fairness,
knows
he said the
that's the
truth
best
though.
way. Yeah.
But he was like, "Listen, I just read a statistic about the way the rulings have gone and how they might change it." And
Yeah.
so, and everyone got mad about that.
The
Yeah,
NFL is considering making a new rule where they can review close penalties.
yeah, and that's all he said, and everyone, of course, Chiefs fans lost their minds. But he was like, I just said the truth. They are making a new
Yeah.
rule. It is because, at least partially because of the Chiefs discourse. So again, it is factually true. It is happening. It's why is it happening is the question, I would say.
Right.
Again, people are saying, "Oh, it's rigged." They want like maybe that's now. I'm not saying it isn't that. But I think the question isn't is this happening? Are they really getting all these calls? Because the answer is yes. The numbers bear that out. It's truthfully just a matter of do you believe that they're doing it on purpose, or is there some other explanation? Again, some of them being completely just the refs are starstruck, which happens, or like I said, it is possible that it's by design. They make these plays to try and draw fouls, draw flags, get another shot.
You
It's
could
not a bad
definitely the
idea.
taunting for sure. That and not the
Yeah,
taunting, the flopping, where
right.
we
That's
had
what I
a
mean.
Kelsey flop, we had a very bad Mahomes flop last
Yeah,
week. That's where
that's what I
you
mean. So
drive
it's very
people nuts.
possible it's on purpose, and like they know that they're doing it, and it's
Oh yeah,
to get the flag, and then it happens. Which I mean, we could be mad about it, but it is why they did it. You know what I mean? Like they did it to draw a flag, and then they got the flag that they were trying to draw. That's like a play, essentially. They did a play. They're like, all right, we're gonna go, and if you get in trouble, you need to fall back like you were just speared through the chest, and then they do it, and then they get the flag. So that's where I'm at with it. I think it's not. I think it is factually true. Do I think it's rigged? But we'll see some clips.
Oh my God, Ryan, come on. We know it's rigged.
I
can
want
I
it to be
also
rigged.
just for reference, if you just curious, this specific game for the penalties, the
Yeah.
Bills had 6 penalties called against them for 48 yards.
Hmm.
Chiefs had 5 penalties for only 21 yards, which is very small.
It is. And what was interesting though, and a lot of people will actually point to that, be like, see, 5 versus 6. I mean, it's yards are yards, right? But like 5 penalties to 6 penalties. When you look at that, that's only one penalty difference. The problem is every one of those 6 penalties that got called on the
Literally,
Bills were like so close. Like
and changed the
literally.
game the
Yeah, they
perspective
were
of the
at
game.
these points that could have gone either way. Like they could have gone either way, and every time they broke for the Chiefs. Whereas like I saw the Chiefs got a pass interference on a touchdown pass. Obviously Buffalo declined the penalty. They just scored a touchdown. Like that's obviously different than,
Yeah.
did Josh Allen get over the line, or was that one catch an interception, an incompletion, or a completed pass for like whatever that was, like 35, 40 yards that Xavier Worthy caught when air quotes that pass for. Like you know what I mean? Like that was what the Chiefs got. Xavier Worthy barely caught that pass. I don't think he did catch that pass. I think it was either an interception or an incomplete pass. They ruled it as a catch for a ton of yards,
Yep.
and the Chiefs got called for pass interference on a touchdown. Like, you know what I
Don't
mean?
worry, we
Like,
have that play for you. And also, like I said, again, we pointed out, and we also say the way you beat Patrick Mahomes, you run away with it,
yeah,
and you have to make sure he doesn't stay on the field. And already that time of possession, it was only a 30-second difference. So that didn't help.
Nope.
Again, just like I said, just questionable play calling by Buffalo and all this crap. And now we're
Yeah,
here.
I gotta
Simple as
say,
that.
I
If
hate
only
to I hate to quote this man, but for people listening for next season, the way to beat, assuming this continues next season, I think there's a strong chance it won't, but we'll get into that.
yeah.
Assuming this continues next season, you've got to beat the Chiefs. Like it's got to be too big to rig. And I hate that I'm quoting, I'm quoting, but it's got to
I
be too
generally
big
don't
to
know
rig.
who I didn't hear that one, but I agree.
A former disgraced president, current president as well,
Okay.
used
Did
to
he
say
say that
that.
regarding this game?
No,
Oh, in general.
about his career. He's
Okay.
talking about making things too big to rig in his career. And I
Exactly.
again,
If
but
you
you've
if
got to
it's a
be
one possession game, you will not win. They are
you
literally
will lose.
17 and
Yes.
0 against
Correct. Yeah.
in one score
If you
games.
can't, yes, exactly. One possession game, winning by a field goal, you've lost. You've lost in the frankly, you've lost in the fourth quarter if you're only winning by a possession. And so like, and I don't know. I don't think that they're like you said. I think they're 17 and 0 in that position.
Yeah. Literally never
So,
lost.
like, yeah, if they're winning or even just behind by a bit in the fourth, you congrats, you've lost. And so, like, that kind of is demoralizing, both for the players, which I don't care about. They're a bunch of millionaires. They should just try. But it's really demoralizing for fans because what is the point of watching the fourth quarter of a
Thank you.
Chiefs game?
Exactly. It's not fun. It's one of the rare
Yeah.
times where football's just not fun to watch with this stuff. That close with that close bias and then just the Chiefs win. It's not fun. And then, as we'll add to it, to the next segment with the Eagles, when you have the second most annoying team, the second most annoying fan base, and they did have some weird calls during that Commanders Eagles games, not
Yeah.
as egregious,
Because
but
the Eagles did lay the actual smackdown on the
yeah.
Commanders,
So
though. So whether they had close calls or not, I don't know that
it
that
didn't
mattered.
change the game, right? But let me point out something. Anything else you want to add, Jose, to this? Before we show the evidence.
No, you're good. Ryan, pretty much, I agree with everything Ryan just said.
Yep. All right. So I have 3 specific plays here. So first, we'll talk about the infamous first down that 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 was a complete game changer in the fourth quarter. First, we have this play, right?
Mhm.
So right here, for those, everybody knows this. So trying to get the first down, this was a 4th and inches to have the drive go. Chiefs stop them, turnover on downs. This is in the fourth quarter. Here's the marker right here.
Yeah.
Here's Josh Allen right here with the ball. He just has to get the ball across the here. You can see the white line here, and then you can see the marker here. You just have to cross this, right?
With the ball. Yeah.
There
There
we
is.
have the ball right there. As you can see, past the crown of this helmet and the ball there, he literally crossed the line, right?
I would say so, yes.
Yes, I think this is the best angle to show that. And you can see right here is just another shot of that. As we talked about
There's
the
that line.
line, we have the yard line right here. There's Allen with the ball, and he did not bobble it. And then we have this, where we have the 2 line judges in the exact same play call something different.
Yes, he's in front of the line. He's got to move around someone. He's below the line on the bottom. Well, those are 2 very different spots.
Look at that. This is like, there you go. That evidence number 1. I don't know what more clear. What's more clear that that's not a first down? It was close enough where you can make it like, no, he didn't. And he did.
Yeah.
That's little evidence. Come on. This is
But
why
it's
you
close
frustrate this
enough.
country.
But it was close enough
But
that
yes,
they could
since
get
they
away with
called
calling it.
They called it. They didn't call. They called it a stop. They reviewed it, and there wasn't enough evidence, in their words, to overturn it, despite what I just showed you.
Right. The evidence, of course, being that he did get over the line. The evidence is reality, but they didn't. That wasn't enough. Reality was not enough evidence for the NFL officiating corps on that one.
Who do you blame the loss on, the refs or the Bills?
Probably the Bills.
You would have to sue on the Bills, but when you have these little things here, you'll still continue to have people feel the bias.
Yeah, it's
as
just
I mentioned, and
annoying
as
more
I
than
said,
anything.
the Chiefs,
Right.
the Bills should have ran away with it. They did not win the possession battle. Well, they did win by only 30 seconds. They gave too much time. So we also have this, as Ryan mentioned, the Xavier Worthy play. We have right here. All you need to do is to interception to have complete control of the ball. So we have this right here. Already, we have our defensive back holding it on his bicep, having the possession, not fumbling it as he's going down. He still has the grasp of it. Ball hits the ground, but you can see on the bicep that he has, in my opinion, right here.
He caught the ball.
That he caught the ball.
Say no, but that ball
Xavier Worthy's hands on it.
But sure, yeah.
Pinning it there. Now when it comes down and it makes
look, here's another example.
Does the ball move enough to say?
And I don't think it moved enough to reverse it, but according to that didn't happen. And there's another example. And there's Tony Romo, why people don't like him. Just continuing to suck off the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah.
Unlike Troy Aikman, who's all-time great call commentator, who called it on the spot last week.
Yeah, no, that one, to me, that play was both the most egregious, other than the obvious,
that first down.
What's called the obvious first down that they didn't give him. So that was the worst. The obvious first down was the worst. This was the second worst, because there was essentially three ways it could have gone. They could have gone with what happened, which is that it was an interception. It was an interception. He caught the ball. We saw it. He caught the ball. They could have gone with they both got their hands on the ball. The ball did touch the ground. And you could argue that the ball kind of came loose even a little bit on the ground, and say, you know what? No one caught the ball. No one really had control of that ball when it hit the ground, because you had two people on it. No one really caught it. Dead ball. That's another thing you could have done. I would have said it was an interception, but whatever. The only thing that I can't figure out how you called is what they did call, which is that Xavier Worthy caught that ball. And he had a hand on it, as you said, and maybe that's enough to throw into question whether or not either one of them had enough of the ball when it hit the ground to call it a catch. Maybe that's enough to sow doubt. Well, maybe Worthy really did maybe Worthy was holding it against the defender's arm, and then, it touched the ground and no one really had full control of it, right? I could see you have that conversation, but I can't see how. He had one hand on it. The other dude caught it like this, wrapped up in his arms. Worthy had a hand on it. We could see he only had one hand because his other hand he hooked himself on the ground with his other hand. He didn't have two hands on the ball. The other guy did. I just don't understand how and what they went with, it was a tie. They both caught the ball, and apparently a tie goes to the offense.
Yes.
And
that is the rule.
Which is the rule, but I'm a tie, how do you determine a tie of catching the ball? Again, if they both were holding the ball and running with it, sure, that's a tie. I'll give you that. Somehow they're both holding it and running forward, but there's a world where neither of them caught the ball. And you went with, actually, they both caught it, so tie goes to the offense. It was an insane call. It was the worst call of the night, in my opinion. I think it was it wasn't as bad as the first down, in that I think the first down was super obvious, whereas this one did have was it an incomplete pass? Was it there were so many variables that makes it a little more confusing. But I think it was the most blown one because that did change the game. You know what I mean? They went from losing it down, which they would have either lost the down or the ball, to being, on the goal line. That was a goal line catch.
Yep.
So
and
that was 7 points right there that they basically were gifted by nonsense. And they did not win the game by, enough points to have just given up 7 in the first half. You know what I mean? So my opinion is that one actually changed the game, and it could, that one may, if you want to blame the refs for costing the Bills, and I don't know that I do, that's the play I would point to, saying they just gave the Kansas City Chiefs those points.
I agree. And as Jose made the good question, and as I made clear, the Bills, despite not having one turnover in the game, they could have played a lot better. They missed on opportunities. They got stopped when they needed to. I mean, Josh, you talk about with the tush push. Someone who can't do the tush push is Josh Allen, as we saw in this game.
No, he goes to the left. He can't.
Yeah, and they knew exactly where he was going already.
He can't go up and over. He has to go to the left every time. Which, in fairness, the tush push is ridiculous. They shouldn't allow that anymore. But that's beside the point. There's definitely plays they should have considered that they didn't consider. Going for 2, not that it would have necessarily changed anything that first time with the penalty. Again, I think that penalty was on purpose. I know that it was called against the Chiefs. I think they drew that penalty on purpose because they wanted them 1 yard closer to get, to get in their feelings and to go for the, and go for two. And that's exactly what they got. And then they stopped the Allen run. So again, I think that the Chiefs use their penalties correctly. They know how to draw a foul. They know when to draw their own foul. I think honestly that happened in that scenario. They took a foul there specifically to try and entice the Bills not to kick the ball. And I think the Bills should have kicked the ball there. Again, would it ultimately have changed anything? Probably not. But it was definitely it's demoralizing to not convert your 2 point conversion. Whereas you get full 7 points as opposed to 6 points. There is a psychological difference for a team in a close game with that much pressure to add that extra point as opposed to go away missing a point that is basically a gimme. A touchdown's a gimme for 7 points. So if you end up with 6 points after a touchdown, even though technically yes, a touchdown is worth six, that's demoralizing because you had a gimme point that you left on the table, either because of a bad play or a bad read, whatever. So I don't know. That was again,
And
that's the Bills' fault. The Bills did that.
I
Nobody else.
agree. And again, yeah, that's where you have to point out 0-4, 4 chances. Something's got to give. We'll talk of the quick legacy of that in a couple minutes, and then switch to the Eagles. But one more thing to point out that was just straight up strange. The very final play of the game, we have or I should say, the final play for the Bills.
Yeah.
So we had fourth and 5. You are right at midfield. Got to convert to keep the game alive. And at this point, you're only down by 3. You can at least get in the field goal range. Chiefs, the Bills go in the shotgun, and honestly, Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs called the perfect play. They called a corner blitz and put pressure on Josh Allen to do this. And this was wound up being the final play, and this is what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have right here. Here's just a Hail Mary. Here's just, well, not a Hail Mary, just throwing up a prayer, hitting a field goal. Dalton Kincaid drops the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're waiting for it real quick. And there's a flag on the field. And as we're waiting, trying to figure out what's going on, it wound up being for nothing. That flag literally was canceled. And again, that's in despite a very hard catch that was in Dalton Kincaid's hands, who underperformed all season long. And well, not only Mark Andrews as a tight end who dropped a major play for his team, so was tight end Dalton Kincaid, and the Bills lose after that. If he caught it, they would have been in field goal range. Bass was having a great game kicking. I do think they would have at least brought it to overtime, and they would have had at least another chance to get the ball back, even if the Chiefs. So let's say the Chiefs won the coin toss and scored. That was strange. The only other fair explanation, as I did a bunch of research today during the radio call, the great Kevin Harlan said that one of the Bills linemen, Deion Dawkins, didn't have his helmet. I just heard that. I haven't seen any evidence of that. But that was the only other logical explanation on why they got a penalty. But still, nobody's addressed that besides them.
Right.
So
if you get
I
a
think that,
call,
yeah,
if you
they would
throw a
have said it
flag,
anyways.
then you would
You
have
do
still
it.
said it and just declined the penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it just disappeared. And why I bring this up, why the hell was a penalty called? Was this in case he did make the catch, they would have brought it back? That's where you, again, have these conversations on why people think there's something up with the refs and the Chiefs. And that's like a prime example of that. Just throwing it a penalty for the hell of it. It seemed like.
Yeah. So I will say I've been arguing online about this all day in a comment section on a publication that I read. And I will let you know that random commenter, which is the name of this person, because they are incredibly self-assured, which is why they use nothing even close to their real name online. What's it called? They said there was no good grief. Sorry, there was no flag. It was a broadcast mistake, not some conspiracy.
But Jim Nance acknowledged it.
Jim Nance and Kevin Harlan both said so after the game. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear Jim Nance say, "Oh, our bad. Whoops." I didn't hear that. Now, if they did, and I just wasn't paying attention, because I won't pretend that I listen intently to the
Oh,
broadcast team.
I looked all over
after.
the place. I would have definitely known if they acknowledged that.
Right, but whatever. And I said, I put out an observation. Like, we all saw the game. We all saw the flag come out. Obviously, I don't buy into the script stuff or whatever. So I'm not going to say, oh, it was rigged. They did it just in case he caught the ball. I won't say that. I won't say that. But, you know, Bills and Chief, close game. Hail Mary pass was in his hands as he went to the ground. Obviously, he ended up dropping it. But, like, is it at all possible then, if the flag wasn't real, if the refs really didn't throw a flag, that the broadcast team just assumed there would be a flag on the play because of how close the game is and how close it was? And of course, there'll be a flag. It's a Chiefs game. So they hit the flag button to show up on the screen. And then when they went down to the field, the refs like, we didn't call a flag. They're like, oh. And they had to just take it down real quick and hope that nobody noticed. And if that's the case, if that's what happened, then we'd have to say, why would the broadcast team at CBS assume that there'd be a flag?
And
Maybe it's because every close play in every Chiefs game in the fourth quarter has at least 100 flags. And so, like, they just assumed, oh, close
and they
play.
acknowledge it here during the first play that there was a flag at the end of the field, but so that kind of debunks what he said.
Exactly. So as I'm saying, I think, again, if there was a real flag, then it was, I don't know why there would be a real flag other than maybe this helmet thing, which I haven't heard, or they just threw a flag because why not? Just in case. But I'm saying, even if they didn't throw a flag, the flag thing showed up. We all saw it. So did CBS just forget how to produce live sports for a minute? Or did, they just kind of assume, went on autopilot, fourth quarter, big game, last throw for the Bills, hit the flag button because 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen in a Chiefs game. I was told, unfortunately, though, that if I think that a professional broadcast crew is just going to assume that a flag will be thrown and present that to the audience sight unseen, you are fucking hopeless. So I guess, unfortunately, I am hopeless because, yeah, if there was no flag on the field, then I think it's because they just assumed there would be. I don't believe for a second someone, like, put their elbow on the flag button, and that's what happened. I mean, that level of incompetence in a live broadcast for a huge game.
And then not even
No
talk
way.
about it the rest at some
Right.
point today.
In no chance. No, in my opinion, someone who actually knows, something about producing live content and entertainment and shows, and Matt, you've done even more than I have. That person that would make that mistake isn't in the booth for the
Ever
AFC
again.
Championship game. They just aren't. They're not putting. This is the biggest game of the year. No one wants to see these other two teams play in the Super Bowl. This is always the best game in the NFL. Chiefs Bills is always close, always competitive, always hard fought. You know what I mean? Like, they're like each other's, Batman and Joker or whatever. So it's like they are rivals to the highest degree. They're the best game in football consistently the past however many years. This Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes era. They don't put the second or third string producers in for this show. I'm sorry, they don't. So I don't believe for a second they just, whoopsie, spilled some coffee and the flag graphic went up. That's ridiculous. Random commenter.
Mhm.
What do you think, Jose?
No, I think both of you guys are spot on, but I do believe this shit's rigged. So,
Oh, wow. So you're going full on rigged.
oh, of course it is. Come on, let's think about it. NFL makes more money if Chiefs is in the Super Bowl. Yes or no?
But why?
What do you mean, why? Taylor Swift, why?
What do you mean? She could go anyway.
Huh?
Just
She can go
have her go
anyway, but
anyway.
That extra viewership will help.
It's the extra
Yeah, but have her
viewership.
go anyway. Have her announce it ahead of time. Her and Travis are going to go watch the game.
But they tried that the year before Travis Kelce and then we're in a relationship. Remember, they tried to put her at the Super Bowl
No,
halftime. She
Taylor's-
said no.
No, they tried to make her perform in the halftime
Okay,
show.
same shit. She ain't gonna go if Travis wasn't there.
No.
She ain't there.
If
What-
they
what-
went to her and Travis and said, "Do you want to sit in a box and watch some football?" They'd probably go. I'm telling you, they'd probably go. I don't believe for a second they
No.
would.
Hell
I don't
no, they
believe for a
wouldn't.
second
Why?
they would.
The mother Travis.
What do you mean,
already-
why? Well, first of
Travis
all,
for
if
doing
Travis-
this for 19 for how many
if
weeks
Killer
he been
Trav
there?
had lost yesterday, he would have retired. So there's that. And so
You might
retired
retire
Travis
this one.
Kelsey coming down, doing a podcast live from wherever, get Taylor to come and
No.
watch.
Hell
Yes,
no.
stop. Yes.
Oh,
They
you
could have got her to
Just
show up to the
propose to each
game.
other during the Super Bowl to
Listen,
do the
Taylor
ultimate
Swift,
piss off moment.
Taylor Swift never went for shit. And you
She
think
didn't,
Travis?
wasn't, yeah, she didn't care.
Oh, even before, and that's what my point is. So now all of a sudden, you want to waste a fucking Sunday where you can go
You've,
anywhere around the world and go fucking where
hold,
everybody's gonna be at just to
hold on,
stare at you, sitting there like a
you've
dumbass?
never gone someplace for your, for your girlfriend, like she had to do something for work or
Yeah,
whatever.
I get
You've
that.
never gone and done that?
Can I ask you
Come
a question?
on.
Have you gone? Has you went with your girlfriend on her fucking day off just to go sit there and look like goddamn rank retain like fucking
Have
monkeys?
I gone someplace
God damn.
on my day off when
No, on her day off.
on her day off?
Yeah, her day on her
Yeah,
day off.
both of us
And it
have.
was
For
oh,
work, both of us have.
that's why you the fucking pope. Because
Well,
there be
okay, but
goddamn
I did
damn
it for less
no
money.
way.
Pay Travis Kelsey, and then you don't
They're
even
not
have to
gonna
worry about
pay
Pope.
Travis for what? They don't
An
for what?
appearance fee. They do it
I
all
don't
the
know if
time.
this is okay. I'll save this for the end.
Yeah.
Because it's worth pointing out.
I mean, there's nothing really else to say. I don't think they
I'm
needed
saying
him to
after we
win.
talk about the Eagles, but yes,
Yeah.
because we
But
still
I
have
don't
the
think
whole
they
Eagles
needed
to
them
hit
to
on.
win. Yeah, no, yeah, we should move on. I don't think they needed the win to get Travis and Taylor. I also don't know that Travis and Taylor are going to help with viewership as much as people think they are.
No,
I think
Are
I
you
think we'll talk
serious?
at the end. I think it's gonna be a very low rated Super
I
Bowl.
think this
this
could
is
be a
enough.
low-rated Super Bowl. Actually, yes.
So,
I think it could go viral depending on what happens during and after the
Do
game.
you really hold on? You really think it's gonna be a low rated Super Bowl, Matt?
Comparatively,
I mean,
Are you guys
obviously,
fucking kidding
well,
me?
no, it
comparatively,
will be, yeah, comparatively.
yeah,
It
it's
will
not gonna be a
be like
low
it'll
rated.
still like 100 million people
Yeah,
will
it'll still be
see
the most
instead
watched
of
thing this year.
average.
It just
Instead of
won't be as much
it'll
as usual.
be instead of 120 million people, maybe 100 million people. I lost a
I think
podcaster. He was so offended that he won't that he's not going to break down the Super Bowl next week.
Yeah, I know.
I
Get
do
to
think
see me now instead.
I think with all the stories going on both sides right now, I think it's gonna be bigger.
No,
I think you got the
definitely
three-peat.
bigger.
I think you got the three-peat. I think the whole bullshit with the conspiracy, and I also think with the whole shit with the Philly fans acting like jackasses, it's interesting to watch.
Don't
I
worry,
think it's because
we'll
you
hit on
don't.
that.
Well, you don't
Interesting
know
to
what's
watch on Twitter.
and
Like I said, I think it could
Twitter,
go
and you're
viral
right, but you don't know
online, but actual viewers will be down compared to previous years.
what
Again,
are you gonna
compared to
watch?
previous years, nothing. Go
Yeah,
So
my friend, I said
these
to him,
motherfuckers
he
are
go
going
out for
specifically said
dinner.
he said he's going skiing. That's what he
Go
said.
go away. Have a nice vacation.
But I do want to hit that a little bit. I just wanted to say last we hit on the things there. Just a few minutes, and we have to go to the switch to the Eagles. Quick thing, but
But yeah, we can switch
Josh
Eagles.
Josh Allen, guys.
time to get
See,
away from the Bills.
no, he's fine.
So so I had this horse racing comparison sent to me. Right,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna know this, but it's apparent. So has anyone actually heard of the racehorse Secretariat?
Yeah.
So the greatest horse to ever live, like literally impossible. He was a genetic freak.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest horse to ever live has the record for Kentucky Derby that still stands over 50 years later, Preakness and Belmont. Did you actually know the greatest horse that never was, who got the second fastest time ever in the Kentucky Derby? And if Secretary didn't run, he would have the record for the Kentucky Derby. The horse was Sham, like Shams Charnier. His name was Sham. He was the best horse to never win, and he would have the record if Secretary didn't live, and he was more of a genetic freak.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point, this is from the Great Skate Carter, that in the Belmont Stakes, that he was going so hard that the jockey had to pull off the horse because he would have had a heart attack on the track.
Right.
Why I bring this up? Some people think that Mahomes is Secretariat, one of the best to ever do it, and maybe on his way to be the best to ever do it. Unfortunately, even though Brady beat him twice, I'll still go with Brady. He's still like
He's
a
retired now,
Secretariat.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. And that Josh Allen is Shams. The fact that he got it this far with rookie receivers is actually pretty insane. He's just always there, just always loses to the Secretariat. And that Shams is the Josh Allen of the NFL. while I do think the Ravens had a better chance to actually beat the Chiefs if this was the other way around. So give credit to Josh Allen getting this far. But can you truly be one of the greatest ever if you cannot win the big game? It's a great question. The best number 2?
I mean, the answer is yes, you can be. I think I can name frankly, in every single sport, there are people who are not particularly the
Yeah, they're
most
not
winningest,
champions. They're not champions.
but there's
Look at the
still some
NBA in
of
the 90s.
right,
They all
still
got
some of
robbed
the
from Michael
Who?
yeah,
Jordan.
Who's the number
right,
two? Who's the number 2 in the NBA in the '90s?
Like if you said, I don't know, if you had, even though he's
Yeah,
canceled, Carl Malone or
yeah,
Charles Barkley,
Carl,
doesn't exist Patrick Ewing.
Ewing, yeah.
they're not even top 10.
I don't, all right, whatever. We'll just ignore all of that from Jose. But and
But you
my
know what I
point,
mean? The point is that Josh Allen, born in the wrong era, but still
I
with
don't.
all the shit, can you
I
truly
actually
be over the
disagree.
hump after that?
So I actually disagree with the idea that he's never going to win. I think that's wrong. I think he is. I think he'll probably win with the Bills.
But is it
Oh,
Um,
going to take when
Jesus.
Patrick Mahomes is 40 without Kelsey and Andy Reid with Matt
well, first
Nagy's
of all, they're
coaching
not going
them?
to have
That's
Kelsey
what's going to
next
take?
season. Next season, I'm expecting a collapse of the
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Just to say,
But
he has one more year in his contract after this year. Just saying.
who?
Kelsey, but he obviously
Chelsea.
can still retire.
Yeah, he's still
Obviously.
retired. I'm not.
Still
But
think with
besides
that.
that,
Okay.
with or without Kelsey, doesn't really matter. I think that the Chiefs are going to collapse after the three-peat. But anyway, no, I think that there's a very good chance that we see within the next 2 years a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl.
He definitely has to do it when Mahomes is in the prime.
And well, yeah, and I also think that if you believe that there's some sort of like marketing behind what happens in the NFL, I won't say script, won't say rigged. If you believe there's some favoritism and some marketing behind it, and they try and persuade certain outcomes to come forward, this year in particular did something I would say incredible. And it shifted, at least this season, and Jose's going to have an outburst in just a second, the concept of
Yes.
America's team to being the Buffalo Bills. Everybody in their mother, obviously because they were facing the Chiefs, wanted the Bills to win this year and frankly win this Super Bowl. Everybody wanted that. They wanted to see the Bills win it all this year. The
Also,
Bills
Detroit, they really wanted Detroit too.
yeah, but Detroit was out early. So like it's different. You know what I mean? Like Detroit was out early. Bills pretty quickly in the playoffs developed this reputation as the team everybody was hoping could get it done. And so they've, to use some wrestling vernacular, they baby faced the Bills to, an incredible amount this season. And that's not going to go away next season. I don't think it will, especially if the three-peat happens. Because here's the thing, Eagles are not likable. So there's that. The Eagles are not the good guys. This is heel on heel action. Nobody likes the Eagles, even if they're cheering for the Eagles. I mean, outside of Philly, of course, Philly fans. But nobody likes the Eagles. So even if you're cheering for the Eagles this weekend because you just hate the idea of a three-peat for Mahomes, you still don't like the Eagles. They're not the good guys. The good guys are, from this season, the Buffalo Bills. And I think that next season, if there's anything to the truth about the marketing and the league getting behind a team that already got their three-peat, they've already got that. That's done, if presuming they win. I think they're going to want the Bills within the next 2 seasons to finally pay off the investment of both that city and all of the other fans around the world who have genuinely become Bills fans over the course of the last few seasons, because unlike Patrick Mahomes this season, Josh Allen is fun to watch play football. So
yeah,
I would
Mahomes
say
had a bad year this year.
Yeah,
and
so
literally a normal year.
Yeah, so I would say I disagree wholeheartedly with the idea that he's gonna end up being the quote unquote Shams you said, Sham to what's it called? Sham to Mahomes' secretariat. Obviously, Mahomes is gonna have, by the way, more than these Super Bowl wins. There'll be more in the future for Patrick Mahomes, almost indefinitely. Maybe not with the Chiefs, but it will happen.
That'd be really interesting if he wanted to go with another team.
Yeah, I can't say that I see more than one for Josh Allen and the Bills, but I think within the next 2 years they are going to get there. I really do think that.
I don't think
Truthfully.
that's out of the realm either, and especially all these rookie receivers getting another year under their belt.
Oh,
Right now,
Jesus.
They need a new pass rusher. Von Miller's too old with that,
Well, yeah.
and I mean he had a bad game, which didn't help. But I don't think that's out of the realm, but he definitely has to do it sooner rather than later. Same with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I would
And
say within the next 2 or
Detroit too is
3.
another babyface team, especially the NFC. That would have
Well,
been
and one
incredible. The
and
Bills
one
and
of
the
those
Lions,
teams,
the
yeah.
Bills and Lions would have been as good as it gets.
And I will say, I do think one of those teams, and it could be the Bills, I could just be wrong. One of those teams is not going to get it done. The Lions, in the next 2 to 3 years, somehow the Lions, the Bills, and the Ravens need to win the Super Bowl. And so, unless everything goes perfectly and they each win it over the next 3 years in a row, which I don't think will happen, one of those teams at least is going to fall short of that expectation. And they will be the great team that never was, because they will be the ones who had all the talent in the world, all the hype in the world, were this close and failed. I just personally, of those 3 teams, don't think Bills are the most likely to be the ones who never get it done of those 3.
Well, from your lips to
This,
God's ear, Ryan.
you realize that they said that same bullshit you just said in the early 90s, right?
I
When
mean, no, I wasn't
they
there,
went to
but
they went to the Super Bowl back-to-back years and lost back to
Yeah,
back.
4 times. You ever see
And
the
they were
great
okay.
saying
30 for 30?
and then they said that same bullshit you're saying now. He is not winning with the Bills. Bills, I'm sorry, Bill fan. You guys are the nicest fucks in the world, but you got some shit luck. So if he's
Hmm.
gonna win it, it's not gonna be
No,
in
it'll be the
Buffalo.
Bills. It will be in Buffalo. It will be in Buffalo. I'm telling you, it will be.
Do you not see that his window is closing as well?
I didn't say it wasn't closing. I just said he's going to win it
Well,
with
yeah,
Buffalo.
he's not gonna win
I
it.
don't believe anything I've said is contradictory. Josh Allen's going to win a Super Bowl,
Look, I think
and it's going to be in Buffalo.
I think if anybody's gonna win it, I think it's Baltimore next season. If it
No,
claps.
Baltimore, in my opinion, and this is going to get some hate, their
Oh
window's already closed.
God, I know, come on.
I mean, that Mark Andrews, he made that catch. Who knows, bro?
Yeah, I
Come
know, but he
on.
didn't. I really don't. I don't believe that the Ravens are going to be improving in by any meaningful metric
They didn't
next
think that
season.
either. They didn't think that they were gonna prove it this year, and they did.
Well, I don't know who they are.
If Derrick Henry just had a great
Everybody
first half
thought,
like he did the second half, I think it would have been a different story.
Sure, but Derrick Henry was
come
crazy old
on.
to have a great half of the season. To be a year older and have a great full season is going to
No,
be
of course,
very hard.
but I think if he could do it, because he's a freak in nature,
Sure. I mean,
he's still
yeah, I
got a
could.
few more
Yes,
years left
I could
at a
be
high
wrong,
level.
and everybody does better, and then I'm wrong. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think it's more likely that everybody on the team, with the exception, of course, of Lamar Jackson, none of this is his fault, by the way. He's the one who I think is kind of just on a team that can't necessarily get it done, because they have, by the way, a ton of tools, as we just said, with
Like I
Andrews
said,
and Henry, and they still didn't get it done. Allen took, just whoever happened to get drafted by the Bills this year. It's all the way to the championship game. So I think it's actually Lamar Jackson who needs a new team of the 2 of them. But I think that it's more likely, or at least equally likely, that the team goes backward than forward overall. But
well, like I said, we're all screwed out of a feel good Super Bowl because Chiefs
yes.
won. That stinks, but we could go all day with this stuff. Bottom line, this is honestly one of my favorite quotes. It is going back to wrestling, but it's true. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, as Ric Flair said. And even Josh Allen said,
Josh
he
Allen
literally
said it, yeah.
that. And well, till then, got 4 years down the train where you could have done it and he didn't. Bro, you literally went to college, started college and ended and graduated, but
He went, by the way, Josh Allen, walk on at Wyoming or whatever. He's not even
exactly.
anyway.
No, good credit to
So,
him, but
yeah.
again, you got to make those throws. You got to get those first downs when you're on the goal line. Oh, sorry, when you're inches away and the goal line.
I don't know. I think any team would be crazy not to want Josh Allen. I think he'll have $1 million gazillion offered by everybody.
Right,
but
yeah,
we'll
and
see.
that's still, I think he's still got 2 years to go on his contract.
Yeah, no, I know that, but just in general, like,
yeah,
if he goes anywhere, you're going to pay, frankly, an absolutely insane amount of money to do it. And I think he's got 2 or
He
3
is a god
years.
in Western New York, I would think.
That too, but he's got 2 or 3 years of this elite play left. 2 of those are going to be in Buffalo. So you're going to pay, a king's ransom for a guy who may or may not continue to play at the level he's playing at now. I have my doubts. But anyway, we'll see. Unless you're the Bills, then maybe you do because again, king of Western New York. But
I guess the NFL didn't want they want Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce enough. Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen.
that'd be next
Uh,
season.
That's not as appealing.
Well, they're getting married, whereas Travis and Taylor are not. So maybe Josh Allen will have like a kid or something, and that'll, boost it way up. They'll be like, oh, we want the new royal baby of New York.
All right. Well, we will complete this Chiefs and the refs segment right now. Another long one, but a good one. Really a good one because
We'll
it
run
is
through
worth
some.
it is worth talking about. Now just switching to the Eagles. As I mentioned, the Eagles winning the NFC Championship. Worst case scenario, not only if you're a Giant fan like me, but everybody else. Give power to Saquon. I will say Saquon getting is extremely incredible, truly
Yeah.
overcoming and giving and middle finger and sticking up the Giants' ass, which I 100% support. While I still had some harsh words to say, and I'm not
I
taking them
remember that.
back, and I'm not taking them back because there's still some truth to that. Was his decision the other day. And then I did say both in my second statement and my first one. I understand why he made the decision, but it still stings. You specifically went to this rival team,
Mm.
and it made sense why he went there. But still, what he's doing is a pretty credible story, and kudos there. But with this, the Eagles killing the Commanders, absolutely no mercy there. And the 60-yard run to start the game after the Commanders looked pretty solid the very first drive. 18 plays the first drive, and then the Commanders ran for 60. Sorry, Eagles ran for 60. They just kicked ass. Even the third string running back, what's it? Vernon? I think his last name had 77 yards. Incredible.
Yeah.
And if anybody who did a fake bet for that is straight up lying. Nobody was thinking the third string running back was going to
77, yeah.
But yeah, gambling TikTok. Look at my genius parlay. I just knew that he was specifically going to get enough plays to do that. But I digress. Anyways, but Eagles win, and I've gone at it with Eagles fans on this podcast and on social media platforms. They get and now their third Super Bowl also in 7 years.
Yeah, they've been around.
So Jalen Hurts brings him back. Oh, well, let's be real. It was really only Saquon Barkley. He is that team. If Saquon got hurt, they would be fucked. But it is what it is. But you have this Eagles team win, and then you have literally the craziest fan base in the world. And it's no Bills Mafia. It's not wholesome. This fan base, no passion. I respect to them. They are literally nuts and maybe outright dangerous. Well, I will show this. I guess Broad Street in Philly, that's one of the main streets. That is pretty cool. All these passionate fans and stuff doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they do some stupid ass stuff. And they get a bad rep for a reason. For instance, right here in a big crowd of people, just people chilling. We know how things are, big crowds. We just had a situation in New Orleans where the Super Bowl where the big crowds got out of hand. And then when you have stuff like this, this guy right here, shooting a gun in there.
I believe that was a gun. Dude, that was definitely a gun. Oh, get us in the camera.
First of all, these guys are crazy enough to just, oh, that's nonchalant. That's a gun. But I digress. Or when you have Eagles fans being terrible to Commanders fans, like these guys just chilling, watching the game, give credit to them, going and supporting the Commanders team. People happily saying whatever. These guys just chilling, just trying to get back. Leave them alone. And he stole his hat. It's gone.
Well, you got to. There's too many
Yeah,
Philly
people could have
fans
gone there.
there.
And
Yeah,
plenty
that
of
would.
other examples of why the Eagles fan base and Philadelphia sports fans, not all of them, but a majority of them, are terrible
Yeah.
people. They entice violence, clearly. They aren't wholesome. And seeing them lose, they deserve every single bit of it. And the fact that it's either going to be them celebrating the Super Bowl or the Chiefs, again, shows why this is literally the least, what's the word I'm looking for? The Super Bowl I'm least looking forward to, a Super Bowl I'm dreading. And for the only time I will ever say this, I can't wait till football season's over because this is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Neither of those fan base deserves a championship, but one of them is. It is what it is. But I mean, I'm gonna have to. I want the damn Chiefs to win a three-peat. Well, I'm content with them winning the three-peat because those people shooting guns in the air while we have enough gun violence in the world, while people just harassing fans trying to enjoy themselves.
Happened last week too. That one guy, or against the Packers rather.
Yeah, called the woman the C word.
A couple of times. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Like
Yeah.
literally, they're in their own bubble. Luckily, there's a big enough group of them to enjoy each other's company because nationally, nobody wants to associate with people who are like that.
Yeah, no, I think we don't really have much to say. If you're shooting up in the air, then you're an asshole. Um, that also probably maybe this is a problem with the education of the average Philadelphia Eagles fan. I don't know. What goes up though, like science says this, must come down. So if you shoot in the sky in a large crowd of people and then everybody just hangs out drinking more, eventually the thing you shot is gonna fall back down and hit somebody. So, you're gonna end up shooting somebody, a fan probably, because for reasons I don't understand. I don't think we have to cover this too much because I think anyone who has watched football before agrees, with the exception of Eagles fans, that Eagles fans are too much in a way that's annoying beyond any other fan base, I will say. So let me ask. I know Matt's hinted at this, but
Mm-hmm.
we
You
got
don't
these
like
two
you then.
teams. Don't who not who's going to win. Who are we pulling for? Because I'll say this,
How about they
I
cancel
think,
this Super Bowl?
well, they won't do that, but I
Yeah.
think that the Eagles fans, upon seeing the way that the Bills and the Ravens both, even though they played each other, got this massive groundswell of support where everybody knew that the only thing stopping the Chiefs was one of those two teams. And so everybody was on their side. Like everybody wanted them, to win. And I think these Eagles fans probably think, okay, that's us now.
Well, you're
And I
tone deaf if
gotta
you want
tell
to.
you now, Eagles fans, you are actually somehow still the bad guys.
Yeah, right.
You're just good enough to be a threat to the reigning champions. This is John Cena in the, thank you, in the, Cena sucks era. Okay? Nobody wants the Chiefs to win again and remain champion again. But compared to the person they're facing, this is like the Big Show after his 967th turn. Nobody cares about the Eagles. Nobody wants the Eagles at all to be in this game, let alone win it. The Eagles are still the bad guys, and I'm 1000% cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not even a question. I didn't have to think about it. It was as
Oh
soon as I
wow.
saw the teams, I was like, all right, lock that in. That's who I want to win. Let's get the three-peat over with. Let's move it on. What about
I
you
guess
guys?
I'm the odd man out because I'm going with Eagles.
Because of like money bets,
I,
or you
no,
just
I
like
want
them
the
better?
Eagles to win. I want the
Just
Eagles to win.
for what
Listen,
reason? I'm curious. Yeah.
I used to live in Camden, New Jersey. What they're doing is a fucking Tuesday over there. So
I know.
for
Yeah.
me,
I
for
know
me,
all
no.
about Camden, New Jersey. I lived in New
Okay,
Jersey
so,
for a long time.
cool. So now we both agree that's a fucking Tuesday. What
Yeah, it
they're
doesn't
doing
make
just
it a
now.
good Tuesday.
It doesn't make, but that's what they're used to. Listen, I'll tell you this right now. Ain't nobody gonna be pulling some bullshit attack in Philly. So I'm technically feeling super safe over there. It's just
That's
the
not
norm.
accurate, but yeah.
You're just asking for it. You realistically, you knew what you're getting. Don't Washington fans, no matter as much as I don't like Philly people because they don't give you that much love. After all, you knew what you were getting yourself. You were
Listen,
asking for it.
I have been to, at least half a dozen, if not more, Mets Phillies games or Red Sox Phillies. I saw a couple of them. I've been to Phillies, like the baseball games, a crap load of times. And so, like, when I say this, like, about Eagles fans, I want it to be super duper clear. It is just the Eagles
All
fans.
right, I agree with you on that.
I'm not saying that Philly doesn't have in general a very brash and bold fan base that can probably rub people the wrong way, but I've gone in Mets gear
Yeah, and
to
as a
Phillies
kid too,
games
right?
as
And
a
it's
child and as an adult. I did it as an adult too, and never. I mean, I got a little bit of ribbing, of course, especially when the Mets lost, and they lost both of those games that I'm thinking of, by the way, because of course they did. Um, but yeah, there was some ribbing, and there was yeah, like one person when we were little kids. One person was like making fun of my sister, who at the time was like 6. So that guy was an ass, right? Like,
yeah,
don't
right.
make fun of a 6-year-old for like more than half a minute. That's insane. But anyway,
I've heard so
but
many
I'm
stories
saying
about that, Ryan,
right,
of people
yeah.
going there that
But
they
that's
legit,
different.
But
genuinely coming
but
at
that's
children.
different. Right, but that's different. Again, it was still never all that scary and whatever. It was one guy. Most people were totally fine with us being there. They were chatting with us. It was great. And like it was not a problem at all, especially when I went as an adult. Everyone was just there drinking a beer, talking about the game. It was entirely fine. All pretty much good-natured razzing. The Eagles fans specifically suck. It's a specific Eagles problem. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, I'm always against Philly. No. I love the city of Philadelphia. I love
Mhm.
visiting Philadelphia. And I don't mind watching other Philly sports teams play because I've never really had a bad experience, despite always cheering for their rivals. Always. I've never been a fan of a Philly team. I've always gone to Philly to cheer for their rival, and it's never been a problem. But the Eagles fans specifically suck. They just do. They are not fun. They are less fun than the Kansas City Chiefs players, who also are really annoying. But I'd rather see Patrick Mahomes win than see anyone who's an Eagles fan celebrate.
I
Just
know
fact.
that's
I'm
so true.
sorry. I'd rather see a three-peat than anyone from like who's wearing an Eagles jersey be happy the day of the Super Bowl. Because I mean, in fairness, they're probably gonna destroy something regardless. But to me, it's just like they're just too much. They try too hard. Just enjoy the football game. Like we do. Jets fans, no one ever is like, oh, Jets fans sucks. No, we just sit there, we watch our game for 3 quarters, we cry through the fourth, and then we get up a little early to see if we can't beat traffic home. You know what I mean? Just be a little bit more normal like us. That's all I'm saying.
Last but not least, to go on there, just we will definitely bring this up again during the Super Bowl week
Hmm.
or maybe after. This guy named Rob Reinhardt.
Okay.
Um, he's a journalist, an independent journalist for the Chicago Herald.
Okay.
He wrote multiple advertisers, including Burger King, Coca-Cola, and Nike, have withdrawn their ads from the Super Bowl. Multiple sources confirm. The news comes after several industry reports projected record low viewership and extremely low audience interest.
Hmm. I mean,
Now,
that's interesting, I
I haven't
guess.
heard from the advertisers themselves, and they
Yeah.
are paying a lot of money, and I guess they have a clause that if they want to take it out, take it out. While we somewhat hinted at this before, why we don't think, this is going to be extremely low. It could be the lowest rated Super Bowl because of just the egregious two teams in it. A matchup we only saw 2 years ago.
Right.
And the fact that you have one team with a fan base that everybody hates and the other just a team everybody hates. That some people will go out for the first time ever, do something else on Super Bowl Sunday. The world isn't closed that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to a
Not
bar.
it's not a holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to do it. I love football, even in this terrible match. I'll do it as well, hundreds of millions of others. But I don't
I
know.
mean, I'll
That's
be honest with
very
you.
interesting. While this story is still waiting for that to be confirmed, I think this
Yeah.
journalist says I think it's credible at least to bring it up, and it wouldn't be a
Yeah,
surprise.
I agree. And honestly, I mean, I know I already have plans for Super Bowl Sunday, hanging out with friends at someone's apartment. But if those friends all said, "Let's just go to this bar," they'll have it on in the background. If we could just hang out, I'd probably be down this time. To be honest with you, like I want it on somewhere. I want to be able to see what's happening. But I don't know that I need to sit down and like watch a Super Bowl this year. I think I would be totally fine watching it at a bar, with with fans. I don't know that I need to have like a separate watching experience, to be honest with you. So I can see that being true. Obviously, we don't know, and it's a lot of money they might be losing if they pull out. So to me, it's if you've already paid all the money to make the commercial and air the commercial, you might as well play the commercial, even if you don't think it's going to reach a lot of people. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. Last thing with my friend who's a Chiefs fan, I've been fighting with for 10 years. He sent me just another video of the angle. So he showed one side, I showed an above angle, as we can see right here.
Hmm.
Even more of a help that Josh Allen crosses the line with the actual football in his hand.
Hmm.
According to him, he said, but the direct side view looks like he didn't pass it. It is above an angle. This is an above angle. I don't know if I trust the above angles. And all I said was, you pick your angle, I'll pick my angle. And next time, give it to James Cook.
It's called
Mm.
Like, what else am I
confirmation
going to do?
bias. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
confirmation bias. I don't like that angle, so I'm going to discredit it.
I don't know what else we have to do. The last thing is, I didn't know this is possible. And enough football after this.
Yeah,
They need to put a chip in the football. Like
they
I'm
should.
sure
Yeah.
there's a technology where they could literally put a chip in the football and they literally can't defy the physics and science against it, because it will be literally on the spot on the field that they can corroborate if it passed the line or not. Because the human error, while I do
Tennis
think
does
there's
something like that, right?
yeah, while I do
Yeah.
think there's something actually kind of good with the ref. Why there shouldn't be any, there should not be. Every call should be 100% right, but there is something to the human aspect, and it's just is what it
Sure.
is. That's why the replay rules kind of fix it, but we're clearly not fixing the replay rules now.
Yeah, right.
That's the
Cool.
thing.
Yeah, cool replay. Anyway, yeah,
So
the refs
yeah,
never
right.
overturn anything when they watch the replay. They're like, "Wow, we messed that one up." Nevertheless, let's keep playing.
That's
You
where
know what I mean?
that's where you got to chip the football now.
Yeah.
Just like a pet, just like tennis ball. You have to do it at this point. Literally, literally. Hopefully, I hope there is an egregious play during the Super Bowl that we can make the push even more. Just like if you remember
You wouldn't know because you're not watching.
me. No, I'm not
No,
skipping.
I'm
That's other.
joking.
That's other. Oh, you mean the other people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, let's go. So Los Angeles has been going through it, as we know, and something popped up that some people have noticed here. While I will show you this, and I will show you the community code, the community note added. It has this was spotted on Google Maps in Los Angeles, California, with the words "help" and "traffic go" written in the debris, surrounded by shipping containers. So this is the coordinates. Um, right by Chinatown, Skid Row, Boyle Heights, Lincoln Park, Lincoln Heights. So it's in like I happen to know this is like a working class urban area. Quite frankly, it's the hood, for lack of a better term. But as we can see, you can clearly see somebody writing "help, help, help, help" all over the place. Now, somebody wrote the community note, whether true or not. These messages are written by a man. They are written by a man by. Oh my god. This is grammatically incorrect. These messages are
Yes, it
written by
is.
a man by the
By
name
the
of
name of
Jose.
Jose.
Okay.
Yes.
He has been writing them for
Sounds like
years.
a smart man.
I was gonna
It's
say,
you,
Jose, you've got some splaining to do here.
But this is what's going viral. It is kind of crazy, Ryan. I know you have a little more on this. Can you
Oh
explain
yeah.
your thinking on this, and if I missed anything?
Well, no. So just that they talked to some of the folks in the area about these signs. So the signs aren't even contained in that one area. There's painting on like a billboard that also says help. Some of the sidewalks are painted with the words help. So this lot, this Union Pacific lot, it's an old rail lot, just has a bunch of like help and again traffic code. Terrorismo is in there. Um, I'm sorry, I said that as white as humanly possible, just in case you thought I knew how to say anything by rolling my R's. And so they talked to some of the local like people in the neighborhood, and they talked about again this guy named Jose, homeless person, they said, who has been doing this for years, but they haven't seen him in a while. And so I don't know how many of these are new or how many of these have stayed where they are, but this is like a 3 year occurrence that this lot just gets random, help. And again, they're all assuming it's Jose because Jose used to do it.
It's so
There's
funny you
not
say Jose, and I
very many, yeah, there's not
think
very many sightings of Jose. One person said they saw Jose in there doing it, and then when they went to go and talk to him, he disappeared. Like he ran away. And so I don't know. It's crazy to me that everyone jumped to human trafficking and all that stuff, like without even a second thought. They just jumped right into the LAPDs doing human trafficking, and I'm like, oh, that's a big jump to just make based off a Google image. But at the same time, there are shipping containers, and you know what? He's a homeless guy living in Los Angeles for 3 years, and it's probably not crazy to think that he's writing help everywhere, right? Maybe he wants help. I don't know. But that's the story of Jose. He's a homeless man. They don't know much about him. He's very elusive. He doesn't like to stick around, but he pops up every once in a while for like the last 3 years to do these help signs. Some of like the people in the Phase Club or Clan or whatever they are on social media and gaming, they have been investigating. They claim that they were chased away by dogs. I've seen absolutely no evidence of that. Um, so I think that that was just clickbait. As are everybody, there's a bunch of people who somehow connected this to the wildfire, which again,
it's
going on
very
for
far
three.
away from the
Yeah,
wildfire.
yeah, nowhere near any of the fires, and also it's been happening for 3 years. So that's pretty well debunked. And then obviously the big one being that there's human trafficking in the area. And to that I say it's a wide open like field. Be very hard to human traffic in public like that. There's nowhere to hide. There's no like you know what I mean? Like it's not trees or anything. It's just dirt and a couple of shipping containers. So that would be a weird place to do that, my opinion, but I've never done it before. So I'm not the expert. I don't know if we have any experts. If we do, please don't tell us. Um just turn yourself in. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting in that it's been going on for 3 years. Why did people just notice it now? Again, this 3 years, going on 3 years, this has been happening. And I
I
open
don't
it
know.
to you
I
all.
think it's just damn strange. I could tell you that, right?
Well, it's definitely
Um,
strange, but surely it was strange the last 2 years when it happened.
I, I just like one thing you pointed out really early on, Ryan. Sometimes I play into it, sometimes I don't. With the fact of just the hysteria and anxiety where everybody jumps to the worst conclusions on things.
Mm.
Maybe this guy literally had nothing better to do.
He's
Yeah,
homeless, so yeah, it's
maybe he
certainly
just know.
possible he was just bored.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
obviously he didn't have education. He just probably just said the only the word help, and that's it.
I don't know about all that. I feel like he helps a
His
pretty
name
common
is
one, but
Jose. Maybe that's the only English word he knows.
I mean that's possible because some of them are Spanish. Some of the words are in
Right.
Spanish. Um, but I'm like, yeah. So what do you think, Jose? Though seriously, like, why is it just now that people are no, paying attention to the help signs that have been there for 3 years? I missed all of that, but um,
Someone noticed it 3 years ago, correct?
like locals knew, but I'm saying it went viral like today. Like today's the first time the
Oh
internet has
damn!
captured this at all. Locals knew about it; they
Fucking
just didn't care.
internet must be bored as fuck at this moment if they give a shit about some homeless guy writing help.
Well, they didn't know it was a homeless guy. They thought again the LAPD was doing human trafficking in that open vacant lot. But then the locals were asked about it, and they're like, "Oh no, that's just Jose," and that kind of it did take the sales out of everybody. Not everybody. There's plenty of people who are still talking about how, there plenty of people still tagging at POTUS to try and get help in solving this crime because that's apparently what they do now. But yeah. So there's plenty of people who still believe that this is some kind of deep state whatever. But yeah, the reporters went in because it went viral and asked locals like, "Hey, have you seen these signs?" And in addition to them being like, "Yeah," they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Jose did that." And then it's when the reporter had to be like, "All right, well, who's Jose?" So
Maybe ISIS got to him because I heard that shit's
that's
going around
happening. Yeah, you
lately.
know what? Maybe that's why we haven't seen
He's
Jose in a
asking for
while.
help. Yeah,
He's
maybe
asking
that,
for
that
help
explains a lot.
because he's trying to hide from ICE. Again, Jose, if that's the case and you happen to hear this, don't hide in an open lot. That's a
Uh,
hard place to hide. Very easy to see you. Very, very
well,
easy to see a person standing in the
obviously,
lot.
obviously, he doesn't make the most smartest decisions in
That's why I'm
life.
helping. I'm
Yeah, well,
helping. This
there you
is
go.
me helping. This is the resistance this time around.
There
I'm
you go.
individually helping uh, um, immigrants running from ICE by telling them not to stand in plain sight. And I think that that is the most I can do to offer my services as a humble podcaster on the internet. But yeah, that was the story. The rise of the cryptic help signs and then the fall of the cryptic help signs all happening within the course of a few hours because of Jose the homeless, presumably immigrant who doesn't speak very much English, as our Jose, our resident Jose expert,
Yes.
Jose, confirmed.
Mhm.
Funny ass stuff, guys. Funny stuff. All right. Just quickly, also random. I forgot to put this on for Philly really quick and then we'll switch. But Kevin Hart, Eagles fan, he has his
Hmm.
another show, Lil Kev, an adult animated series based on Kevin Hart's childhood. He will voice his 12-year-old self. It will be on BET.
Can I just say one of the
Lil
funniest things
Kev.
that ever happens is when they do that. It's like when they have like an adult play their childhood self in like a show or whatever, and it's just that guy, maybe in a wig, and it's always funny. The funniest one is George Lopez show, where they just take George Lopez's head and put it on a child's body, but George Lopez does all of the dialogue as young George Lopez. Like
Mhm.
I find that to be ridiculously funny. So the idea that Kevin Hart's going to be a 12-year-old boy just talking throughout the entire thing, like Kevin Hart, not changing his voice in any way, I find that very funny.
God damn, Kevin Hart's career must have fell off hard.
No, he probably got a bunch of money for that, dude.
See, but I mean, let's come on. He's not as high as he once was. All
That
his
is
movies are
true. At the
flopping.
point where you have to hang out with streamers who are 20 years old. Just saying.
Jesus
I mean, in
Christ.
fairness, the streamers are
Speaking
some
of,
of the biggest
Tyson, I was
celebrities
on
out
Raw.
there.
I saw. I didn't see what he did.
His last movie flopped hard body.
Oh, Kevin Hart? Yeah, no, he hasn't had a great movie in a while. I mean, you could argue ever, but certainly in a while.
Wow.
I like his commercial with LeBron. That's a good one.
All right. Anyways, Big Daddy Mark, guys. Big Daddy
Speaking of
Mark.
streamers, yeah.
Oh,
Bro
brother.
annoyed. Bro was being mad annoying. So we just talked about the streamers. Triple H invited Ice Show Speed to the Royal Rumble, which he was in the WWE thing last year, right? Or was it someone else?
Yeah, he got
Wasn't
With
he
Logan
wasn't
beat
Paul.
up.
last year?
He was one of the many prime bottles that got beat up by Logan Paul's enemies.
So I
Mhm.
guess he re-invites them. Then Big Daddy Mark felt some type of way. I had to quickly, while you guys were talking, re-find the tweets because he deleted them.
You did.
But I did find somebody who kept them on. But Big Daddy Mark, big wrestling fan, does what he does to go viral.
Perhaps too big.
Bro was feeling some type of way. They invite I Show Speed to the Royal Rumble, but not me. I won't start anything, but my fans want to see me at WWE events. They went crazy for me when I went to SmackDown Saturday Night Main Event last year. I hope WWE realize how much of a draw I could be to their events. Then he wrote a bunch of other things that are on this realm. And then he ends with, I was just playing WWE and Triple H. You know I love you. He has apologized since. And that's really, yeah, I didn't watch the apology video, but I saw he did a whole 7-minute one.
7-minute video apologizing. Yeah.
I'll tell you this right now. That do better than Conrad Thompson for everything. Tell you that right now.
Why?
I don't know who that is.
Big Conrad Thompson.
No, who's that?
He's the guy that does all the fucking podcasts with everybody.
The
So
wrestling ones, yeah.
the wrestling
Oh,
ones.
my man, I'm a Chris Van Fleet kind of guy. If that's what
Okay,
we're
well,
getting at.
Conrad Thompson does a podcast with fucking
Older school.
Tony Schiavone,
Yeah,
and
old school.
every fucking week he plays this motherfucker and makes fucking Tony Schiavone listen to them all.
Well, to be clear, that's funny.
I know, at first-
Not necessarily. Not. I mean, the videos are also funny, but the fact that they make Tony Schiavone listen to
Yeah.
them is very funny.
Right. So when I first heard him, like, this fucking Mac, and now I got this fucker everywhere. And now I'm listening to what happened when because of this motherfucking whatever his name is.
Big
Marc
Daddy Mark.
Big Daddy Mark just fucked. Well, what happened when is off my list. So
Bro, I don't blame you, bro. Bro definitely got this is an ultimate example of someone with 15 minutes of fame getting way too cocky. This is like
Yeah,
this is I mean, I
happens
Show
with-
Speed has a big thing. Like, and people commented, well, I Show Speed's way more famous than you, bro.
Well, yeah, well, that's part of it too. You know what I mean? Like, also, he's got the Logan Paul connection, which does matter. I mean, like, I know you hate Logan Paul, but part of the reason that Logan Paul is even in WWE is because he knows all these young streamers and YouTube personalities and can bring them in to do stuff.
Hence,
Like,
Kai
that's
Cenat on Raw
Right.
tonight, and he
That's
called out I
like-
Show Speed for the Royal Rumble.
right.
We're
So
getting
that's
a
like,
Kai Cenat I Show Speed match.
I mean, that'd be a little bit funny. But anyway, my point is that, yes, that's kind of the point of even employing Logan Paul. So, yeah, there's this thing within wrestling, like online in wrestling, like the calling them celebrities or influencers is dumb, but the people who have some sort of a following who are also
Yeah, an
wrestling fans,
influence.
yeah, wrestling influencers specifically, where they think that they're suddenly in the industry, right? There's this one guy who does it, and it's very cringy. I don't remember their name, and frankly, I wouldn't care to tell you even if I did. They were talking about they were mad at like Liv Morgan a while back when Rhea got hurt, and talked about how they wanted Liv to have a neck injury, and people were like, "Whoa, dude, what are you talking about? Like that's
I've dealt with
messed up."
somebody who was like that.
So
on
he
the
goes,
show.
"No, no, no, you don't understand. I play a heel." And everybody rightfully was like, you don't work for any of these wrestling companies. You don't play a heel. You're just a dick on the internet. So, Mark's like, you got to know how many people I can draw. You're a fan of pro wrestling. You're not a draw. No one
He
is going to
literally said
WWE
that.
to see you. If you're sitting with the fans, you're not one of the reasons the fans came. No one came, frankly, to see I Show Speed. By the way, no one bought a ticket to Raw to see that. It just happened on Raw, or Kai Cenat, sorry. It just happened on Raw, and so now it's a story, and it'll go viral perhaps online. But you're not a draw unless you're getting in the ring to tell a story, and it doesn't mean wrestler. Paul Heyman, you could argue has some sort of drawing power. I would argue he doesn't, and he shouldn't because he's a manager. But whatever. You could be Vince McMahon was not a wrestler. He was a draw. Shane McMahon wrestled, not a wrestler, but was a draw. Like Bischoff, same thing. Like you can argue that you don't have to wrestle to be a draw on a wrestling show, but you do have to be involved in the wrestling show. You can't be watching the wrestling show and be a draw. Those two things are not possible at the same time. So I think that this is just an example of wrestling fans forgetting that we're just fans. We like something. We're not part of the show. And therefore, we should shut up and watch the show. We got opinions. We could talk about it. It's wonderful, the amount of things we can do with our show that we like. But we're not a part of it, and we can't force ourselves to be a part of it, no matter how many times we sing in a long operatic style. That's what we'll call what Marc does on TikTok for views. That's different. You know what I mean? And I like Marc. I do. I still do. But, man, what were you thinking? Trying to put yourself over WWE. Like, what? Dude, that's
why
never
he'll
going to happen.
be looked at. That's again. Don't be tone deaf. Read the room.
Right. He got exactly what an influencer should get, which is SmackDown tickets and Saturday night main event tickets, and they even showed him on camera.
But who said? But who said he did WWE like got him those tickets? He probably paid them the damn self.
They put him on camera, so
What do you mean put him on camera? If WWE got him,
they
they
turned
would
the
have
camera to him
Ryan.
and had a graphic made for him, so they
Right.
knew he was coming
If
at least to the SmackDown.
if WWE got him to come to the show, one, he'll be right in the front, not
He
three
was.
row. He wasn't in the front. He was 4 rows back
All right,
somewhere.
yeah. Well, he's not that
Two,
famous.
he would have been backstage taking a picture with some fellow wrestler and been all over the place. He probably bought his ticket. He was too cheap, so he got fourth row, got in, and got right behind, no offense, by where the ring announcer's at. And he fucking, that's how he got his photo there. It wasn't like it was deliberate.
No, they put his name on. I saw a graphic.
I think I didn't see no graphic for that. I see him back there at the ring announcer behind the ring
No,
announcer.
there was a graphic. They panned to him during Triple H's entrance. It was a whole thing. They knew, at least on the SmackDown, they knew he was coming. Maybe the main event, maybe Saturday night's main event. Yeah, he just bought a ticket and happened to be on camera. But at least for SmackDown, they knew he was coming. They were prepared.
We digress. So that's what I have to share with y'all there. Just a couple short clips. Has anyone ever had a dream that if you saw a
Yes.
celebrity you had a crush on, you would literally shoot your shot with them?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Not in a long time, but yeah.
Right. You too, Jose.
Who's that celebrity, man?
Of course.
Oh, who's that celebrity?
Oh, come on.
If
Jose,
I had,
you're next.
like in the past, definitely Anne Hathaway. If I was of a
Okay.
stature of if I had the chance. Topanga.
Okay.
I always
look
had
at
a
you.
crush on the oldest sister of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I can't even think of her name.
Oh, Hillary?
I've always had a random ass crush on her. This is
She's
true.
so funny. I do like her in the show.
I wonder what she's up
funny.
to now.
I don't know.
She does Lifetime movies.
Oh yeah,
Well, you know what? Hey,
that's still
that
acting. That
pays.
still works.
That pays.
I
I
have
do it.
I have no problem with that. I mean, I get it. I would have done it too.
I do it in a heartbeat.
I like who else I like. Maybe a few. I'll go with those.
What about you,
few.
Jose? You could just one or two. It doesn't have to be all of them. Matt gave us a
Uh,
full list of his shot list.
Wendy from the Wonder Years. Wendy Cooper.
Okay.
I'm about to
Bad this-
Google
and she bad now.
this. Oh no, actually, you know one I'll still do now. I'll tell you. You know who's somebody?
Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, her
Saved by
too.
the
She's
Bell?
cute.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen, you mean? But yeah,
No, but
Wow.
that's Kelly Kapowski.
Marissa Tomei. All theirs, whether her in the 90s, her as Aunt May. Oh man.
Yeah,
If I
she's
could-
smoking hot too.
Like wow. Talk
It's very
about
strange, her as Aunt May, by
Angel
the way.
from
I
Heaven.
find that so weird.
No, yeah, exactly. That was not
but-
good casting. That does not
I mean, it was
explain-
fine casting. I enjoyed it.
Aunt
fine,
May is
but-
not a MILF, I'm sorry.
Well,
Or
no,
Gil-
yeah,
but now
the
she
plug
is.
in.
Now she is.
No, I'm saying Aunt May is it like in the
Hey, rules are meant to be broken, Matt.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt. Come on.
Norms.
Live a
We're
little
not
bit.
conforming to norms anymore. Aunt May can be a MILF if she wants.
I
That's
was
the
like,
new rules.
So this was who Jose had a crush on way back when.
Wendy Cooper. Okay.
Oh yeah, I
But
can
look at
see
her
it.
now.
Yeah.
You do know that she's also on like every Lifetime show
Yeah.
ever. Like, no, I would say for me, it started with Shania Twain and then it moved on to Shakira.
Shania Twain.
And then Shakira, yes. I'm definitely more in the music. I'm less in the actress, more into the music.
One thing I'm
of
really
it all.
excited for,
So
I
there we are.
watched 3.5 of the SNL docs for the 50th.
Mhm.
They're gonna do one on music, like a whole
Mhm.
one, all the music. They really have like the history of American music over the last 50 years.
Do they have
right on
Shania
that
Twain?
stage. No, but they had Sade. I saw one with Sade, and she was like stunning. I was like, man, I would have had the biggest crush on her if I was
I
comprehending.
mean,
things of
probably.
the
Yeah, I'm sure
90s.
she looked
You
very.
like Sade,
very good, but
Ryan? I mean, Jose.
No, but I thought of another one.
Okay. Was it Shania Twain?
Nah, Celine Dion.
Really?
Dion, not now.
Yeah.
She was like so much. Well, wow. First of all,
It's
Matt,
like
that's messed
95
up.
pounds.
That's messed up. First of
Sorry.
all, Matt.
That's all
He
right.
goes, not now. But second of all, she was always like old.
You know what it is? Her Quebec, her accent, yo.
Vibrato.
Imagine smashing that from the back, and she's like,
Singing.
when it, like sounding like Kevin Owens a little bit with her voice and shit. You know how they sound? Got that
Again,
crazy
Kevin
accent.
Owens just yells during promos. So
again, I've got to be honest with you. That's Shania Twain. Kevin Owens has been at multiple Shania Twain concerts in Canada. Shania Twain, also Canadian, and spoken French, as does she. I'm just saying, you've described country music legend Shania Twain.
What about Leanne Rhymes? Now we're just naming off the rip some
Now we
random.
are just naming people that were attractive. That's
Well,
right. When,
who
and
are
by the way,
country
most
stars?
of Hollywood is
If
attractive.
if I had to pick a country star, it'd be Casey Musgrave. If you wanted me
That's
to
too
pick
like
somebody.
recent. I can't do that because I've been in a
How
relationship for
about
11
Faith
years.
Hill? If you're going country, you know Faith Hill got to be in there.
That's I mean Faith Hill back in the when I was a kid, yeah. That's definitely
Country stars you
on that
have a
list.
crush on.
That's definitely on the list. Hey, I mean I listened to country music as a child, so I know them. They were, all of the chicks were very, very attractive. Not all of the women, all of the chicks, formerly the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah. They're no longer the Dixie Chicks, so there's the chicks
They're
now.
just chicks.
So I'm
They
using
wound
their,
up-
I'm using their
talk
preferred
about
name.
people who were ahead of the curve. True.
Yeah.
They stood on business and still
They
haven't gotten
did.
paid
They
back.
got blacklisted big time, and they're
Yeah.
like just now getting reintegrated as
An
like not
ultimate
even like,
story that somebody has to do, or even a doc that'll be money making to.
oh yeah.
Docs have proven on Netflix a really good doc will change public perception. You gotta
So-
do it on the dicks.
And I'll say this,
Oh, sorry, not the dicks.
the
chick-
chicks,
the
but yeah.
chick.
But I'll say this: there's in the American History Museum, there's not a big section at all, but part of a larger section of the eras in entertainment and culture, and it features that. It features that fight between President Bush and the Dixie Chicks, the very public feud that the president had with three women from like Mississippi. But yeah, no, they did not give two shits because Nashville said you're done. Texas, all of Texas was like you're done, and they just didn't care. They're like, whatever, we're still not wrong, and that was that. They would rather lose their career than pretend they were wrong,
Right.
and then turns out they were right. So there you go. That's nice.
Ready
But
for
anyway.
that? That's gonna be a great Netflix doc. And just random, you guys know who Cooper Flag is?
Cooper Flag.
Why did that sound bad?
Cooper Flag's the best college basketball player right now. He's
Oh
he's
yeah,
literally,
yeah. Tall dude.
literally
He's at
turning
Duke,
he's turning
right?
into a major. Yeah, he's Duke.
Yeah,
He's
Duke,
a
yeah.
freshman. We did a tweet cap on him going off on the USA
Mhm.
team tonight. 28 points, 8 for 17 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2
Is there
blocks.
any
and a
is there
turnover.
any doubt
Bro's
that
insane.
he's gonna be the #1 pick?
Oh, he will be no matter what.
I tell you this right now, like towards the end of the season, for all my gamblers out there, you better take whoever. Like you look at the top 3 losers, and you bet against them. You'll be winning like crazy because they're gonna
Against the
fucking
losers. Yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Duke
Because they're
messing it up. Yeah, like maybe in the
Well-
the round of 16 or 32 for March Madness.
Think so, huh?
All
You think
that.
Duke's got no shot?
Mm,
Duke's got no shot.
I think Duke. You're on. They're flaky. They're good, but they don't.
Anything can happen in college basketball too.
That's true.
But also the reason the reason why I'm bringing up the celebrity shooting their shots part, right?
Yes.
This woman found a celebrity, very famous celebrity, and they went for it. Let me show you who it is. See, this is the woman right here. There's Ben Affleck.
And what did he say?
So someone asked her, "What did you say?" Her response was, "Sacapuntas."
I guess
Look
that's
at
one
it.
way to shoot your shot.
Gotta give her credit, right?
I mean, yeah, you should walk right up to him.
And
I do have to actually, speaking of shooting your shot with a celebrity, I told you all about Jennifer Aniston sliding into my DMs on Twitter, right?
yes, I'm
Yeah,
Jennifer Aniston.
yeah, that's
Simple
right.
as that.
Sadly, Jennifer Aniston has ghosted me, so I've finally been ghosted. She didn't respond to any of my questions about life on the set of Friends. Um, so I've had to delete the thread now. But there you go. That's me shooting my shot. I shot my shot at definitely the real Jennifer Aniston. There's a love triangle happening between myself, Jennifer Aniston, and former President Barack Obama. And
Oh,
so
jeez.
I'll let you know how I do and how I measure up in that competition. I'm sure it will be close.
There you go. There you go. But honestly, I thought she was really cute. Maybe Ben Affleck, he could do whatever he wants. She seems,
I
of
think he
age.
probably just wanted to shop. And he wasn't thinking about
uh,
that at the moment. If she had come up to him at a bar, maybe it would be a
but
different
yeah,
story,
probably
but
that happens to him all the time now, and he definitely
that
takes
too.
advantage.
I'm sure he does, but again, not maybe at the store. I feel like just venue was wrong,
At this,
you know?
but I give her credit. She tried.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to see Ben Affleck. So if you catch him out, you just got to go for it.
I
It may
wonder
not be
if
the
Ben.
best venue.
What? I wonder if Ben Affleck's back on dating apps.
Raya,
Definitely, man. I
is that still a thing, Raya?
think so. Yeah.
I'm not sure what he. I remember I just heard a story that he admitted that he was on dating this expensive ass dating app
Yeah, definitely
for
Raya. That was the big one.
right, and
Matthew Perry
nobody,
found somebody on that too. That was a big
yeah,
story.
nobody believed it was him, and that's why he never gets no matches. Everybody thought it was just
That's
fake.
kind of funny.
I know somebody, a gay guy who matched with Clay Aiken in the city.
Ah,
Yeah,
wait, in New York City?
yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
alarm you,
On
Matt.
Tinder, by the way, Tinder.
Yeah, maybe I want to alarm you, but Clay Aiken lives in North Carolina.
Well, this was like a decade ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
no, not
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah,
different.
this was like a
Yeah,
decade ago.
yeah.
So maybe now
I
he
can't.
I don't
can.
want
Yeah, I
to.
can't say he has never been to New
I
York City
don't.
either. He
I
may have just been
don't.
around, but
Listen, I don't want to alarm you, Ryan. Some of us guys like to prepare if we're like going to Miami, we change our location a week in advance so
oh,
we
no,
meet
that's what I said.
someone.
I said I can't speak to the fact that Clay Aiken may have, was never in New York. I'm just saying that he doesn't live there, so he's probably not frequently on
Or
the
he's just
dating
trying to
apps
get,
anymore.
man, trying to get his butt buttered. Let the poor guy go. Go ahead, Clay. Get
Clay
that
Aiken
butt
ran for
buttered.
Congress in North Carolina too. Fun fact about Clay Aiken, in
Was
case
he
you
Did he
weren't
close?
win?
listening. He did not win.
Was he
No,
close?
didn't
I
make
was
it.
surprised.
I don't even know if he got the nomination. I think he did lose in the primary
But he
to
tried.
to someone not Clay. He tried twice, I believe. But yeah, two separate times, like far away. Tried once, gave it like 5, 6 years, and then they didn't have anyone, so he tried again. But yeah,
So you guys have to see this.
a
Jose, you like
Carolinian
Disney.
through and through. Clay Aiken is proud Carolinian.
Jose used to like Disney. In fact, you saw The Lion King this weekend.
I went to take my girl for the first time to see The Lion King. It was fantastic.
Which Lion King?
On
The Broadway
Broadway.
show. Come on.
Okay, I just they
You
have
already
the
saw the
movie
movie?
about Mufasa. I
I'm
didn't
not
know.
saying taking it to
Is
see
that
no
still out?
goddamn $5 movie. Huh?
I was
Just a
wondering
question.
if the Mufasa movie even still out.
I didn't know. That's
Oh,
why I
I think it
asked.
is.
I didn't even know it came
Anyways,
out. You could have told me it wasn't out yet, and I would have believed you.
I think
Oh.
that was a great idea for 2D animated doing the live action, just like
It's
people off.
Broadway week, and I got a 2-for-1 deal. So
That's
I
cool.
took that
Broadway week
shit.
is fun. I wish the
Yes.
Kennedy Center, if you're listening, you need to do that.
Kennedy Center Week.
Yeah, they need Kennedy Center week. Give me
So,
some matinees. I'll go to a matinee or an early evening show of some kind.
so we got a Disney story. This is trend. It's called "Who Is My Disney Parents," and the accuracy on everyone's insane.
Okay.
Let's see this. Who is my Disney parents?
You said it accuracy is insane. That's
Is this
the
accurate?
result?
Oh, god damn. Hell yeah, it is.
Okay,
We have
I
one
can see
of
that one.
the
I
Rock
can
and
see that
Moana
one.
and Ursula,
Ursula and
and this
Maui.
bigger woman.
Yep.
Jose, do you want to say what she looks like?
She looked like fucking I would have went with the pig from the Lion King, but I mean, you can go with that.
You is a warhog, but yes, you were just
Warhog,
at the
whatever.
Lion King.
Whatever.
Timon.
Timon. No, is it
Pumbaa.
Pumbaa?
Pumbaa. Timon is the
Timon
meerkat.
is the meerkat.
What a
Yeah.
great duo, Timon and
When I
Pumbaa.
was a young warthog.
Let's see the next one.
I need to know who my Disney parents really are.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Princess and the Frog for this light skinned chick. Oh, and this is mean.
That's a little mean.
Is this-
Love the Hunchback. My favorite Disney movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Probably has the most underrated, so has genuinely greatest Disney villain.
Oh, this is mad accurate. That fucking nose reminds me of the Hunchback.
Right, who's the villain in Hunchback? He's genuinely the best villain.
Judge
they've ever made.
Frollo.
He's genuinely evil. He was.
But they
he's a
the
real
music,
asshole, and they killed him.
Yeah, they did.
What?
No, they got him good. The music in The Hunchback is, I think, some of the best music Disney's ever had in one of their movies. Just purely from like it was sung beautifully, it was written beautifully, it made sense with the story as it unfolded.
Ain't it crazy? Still not made a Broadway.
Yeah,
push?
that's the thing. We want to turn everything into a freaking live action. This one's about people. We made the Lions live action before the one about people.
Literally, the Hunchback of Notre Dame is the original story too. The Victor Hugo.
Yes.
But pre-Disney.
Do that one. That's the live action one. You just put, I don't know, who can sing? Name an actor who sings.
Do that on, or just do it on Broadway.
You know
That
how
too.
hard.
Just put him in a prosthetic shoulder hump and let him sing. I'll do it. Do it right now. I'm short. I don't even need the hump that much. I can just lean over. I'll do it right now. If you want me to be in the movie, at what's it called? Which one? Which at should we give for social media? Prod Convo Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's gonna be my manager for this and this only. So yeah, there you go. Message Matt if you want me to play the Hunchback in the live action movie. I'm ready.
You were saying, Jose, you know how hard it is.
You know how hard it is to pull that play off.
But they're rich.
Just do it.
As simply as that, because they're Disney. I know, I don't doubt it. And I happen to see there have been regional productions of this show.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
not Broadway ones.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's been done live before. So I'm like, is it hard? Yeah, most shows are hard to do live. Well, I've done a ton of live shows.
Fun facts. They just announced the cast for the West End of Disney's Hercules.
Really? Who?
Yeah, just today.
We listened to one of the Hercules on this show. Remember that?
Yeah. For Disney,
that group needs to go ahead and work on it some more. They weren't ready. So I don't know if the West End's ready, but our group here in America was not ready for prime time when I heard them sing. So you just put that out there. But yeah. No, the Hunchback feels like an easy win. Just an easy way to make some money on Broadway or live, remember when they used to do for they had that period where they just did these live musicals on TV? They barely even had a set. It was just John Legend was like Jesus. And they did Jesus Christ Superstar with almost no set. And Sarah Bareilles was in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
and
they did Easter. It with Wiz too. The Wiz was done that way. Hairspray was done that way.
As old school Shakespeare as possible. You just use your imagination.
Yeah, do that for the Hunchback. Even just I think it's easy money.
Those live were African American based. Like they were
only the one. Only the one was.
The Cinderella wasn't Brandy Cinderella.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that made the entire thing African American based. They just cast a black woman as Cinderella. I don't think there's a problem with that.
No, I'm not saying there's a problem, but usually those live based ones that are on NBC are usually African American based. That's what I'm just saying.
John Stamos is in the Little Mermaid one. That's all I know.
I think that's different.
He's not. I'm just saying he was in it. I know.
I think he's the NBC ones were.
Oh, whatever.
That.
Yeah, I don't know.
The other
I'm just
ones
saying
that
in
was
general.
The Fox one.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. Do one of those.
Anyway,
sure.
I still have to play the rest of this video. So
yeah,
we have that
continue.
one. No, you're good. But yeah, that's mean and accurate.
Mean, but yeah.
Now I know you just did not. But let me let's see what Disney parents.
Let's see what this one is. Timon and Pocahontas for the Native American.
All right.
Who the fuck made me? Just curious.
Ursula and Timon. Sorry,
Okay.
Pumbaa.
A Puma, yeah, that's wow. Okay.
So they're just like, if you
That one's a little
are
mean.
some type, you're
Not
just
that they've all been mean.
Who
Pumbaa.
are my Disney parents?
Wow. Oh man, this one's got so
Moana,
facts.
Moana and
Hunchback.
Hunchback.
Okay.
That
Should have stayed curious.
Who are my Disney parents? Okay, hold on.
Jasmine and Rock Moana. I don't know his. I've never
Maui.
seen that one. Is that his
Maui.
name?
That's not
Maui?
bad. Yeah, Maui. That's not bad. I see that one as well.
they've all been accurate so far.
Wow.
¿Quiénes son mis papás de Disney?
Oh shit.
Ursula and
We've seen that combo
Ah.
a couple times now.
That's me.
¡Hija de su puta madre!
This is a matter of life and death. I do need to know
That
this.
dude needs to chill.
Oh, Pumbaa and Cinderella.
Yeah, Puma's absolutely getting around. A lot of parentage out of Puma here.
Oh, the good-looking person gets.
But she got Beast and then a dude. Two
I don't know
dudes.
who this is from. Who's this from?
He's
Jose?
adopted. Is that
Who's not Beast?
the dude from Princess and the Frog?
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I see. Because she's
damn.
jacked. Did you see that? Is that Gaston?
Oh, yeah, I did see that. It's not Gaston. Gaston wears red.
True.
Who are my Disney parents?
Ursula's in there. Oh no.
No, but it's Timon or Puma. Sorry.
Pumbaa
Pumbaa.
again. And the girl from
Oh, not Encanto, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we don't talk about
We don't talk about Bruno.
My Disney parents.
I kind of want to do it now after this.
Crazy
Yeah,
how
I don't have my phone,
crazy
so I-
accurate that is.
I would do it now, but I don't have my phone, so I can't tell you who I get. So I'd have to do it. I'll do it for next time.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a brand new segment. It's called Jose, Is This True? We have one segment. I'm gonna play this.
Oh Jesus.
Jose, is this true about this woman who seems like a nice person?
Oh boy, that's not a good lead up. I don't love the way this is going already. We have
Okay, here we go. So somebody wrote so she's some influencer.
Mhm. Oh Jesus.
Here we go.
okay, influencer.
I get it. I'm ugly. I know this. I've been called ugly for my entire life.
Okay.
A lot of you have pointed this out, and the truth is, you're right.
I know.
I've just been alone for so long that I just kind of accepted that that's the way it would always be. And I just tried to be happy alone, even though a lot of the time I'm not. That's fine. I'll never be everybody's cup of tea.
You are not, so don't think that. Pick your head up. The internet's a terrible place. Don't let them determine how you feel about yourself. You ain't gonna be for everybody, but that don't make you any less beautiful than the next woman. If they tell you you ain't their cup of tea, tell them, go drink coffee then. Respectfully, of course. Sensational.
It's been a while. 6 foot, 7
Has
foot,
been.
6'7". So 6'7".
that?
He doesn't think she's ugly. Does Jose think she was right?
Don't spin that bullshit. Don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining. He never said that. He just says, "Hey, you might not be the motherfucker's cup of tea, but there's bound to be a Ryan out there."
He said, and I quote, "That doesn't make you any less beautiful." Don't try and avoid the question, Jose.
The question.
He said,
did
doesn't
not
make you
say-
any less beautiful than the next woman. So, question for you, Jose. I believe Matt asked you specifically. Is that true? Is she no less beautiful than the next woman?
Listen, that's bullshit. You know how many times we said that to ugly people? Hey, you're no less beautiful than the other girl. That's just me telling you that you're ugly, but don't believe them. Like, keep your confidence up.
I don't care what the answer is. I just want to make sure we got a clear on the record answer. That's all. We're not going to skirt out of this, but that's a good answer. I mean, not good necessarily, but it's it's an answer. You're answering with your truth, Jose, and that's important.
Yes. She ugly. Ugly.
I mean, I think that beauty is somewhat subjective, right?
I think if you that's the best way to say this.
I think Jesse McCartney said it best, where he wants you and your beautiful soul. Right?
No,
Maybe there's a beautiful soul.
Yeah,
there's more than one way to be beautiful to somebody.
You're right. You know what it is? If some dude was friend zoned for 20 years and they're like, fuck it, yeah, you're right. I'm there for your beautiful soul. Cool.
But just no, but in general, like in all seriousness, as much as like I understand what you're saying, that you don't find her face attractive.
I I don't find nothing
Well,
attract nothing.
you've only seen her face. In fairness, we don't know what the
Wait,
rest
you
of her
can
looks like. But
listen. You can look at her face. You can look at that hanging thing that's under her chin. You can tell that her body's not on point either.
point is, you've seen her face. You don't like what you see. I'm not even saying that I don't agree, maybe personally to some extent. I'm just saying, as a fact of the matter, and this is, I think people should think about this more often, is that like beauty is subjective. It just is. There are people who are genuinely like society would call them attractive, men and women, who also pull nobody for a number of different reasons, ranging from they suck to they're antisocial or they're bad, they don't know how to, talk to people, whatever. Like there's a million reasons why someone may be with or without specific partners. So I think the reality is, yeah, maybe you're not everybody's cup of tea, like she said, but I do think that beauty is subjective enough that you don't need to be alone
The point
if you don't want to be.
Okay, the point of the video, if you look at the video and it's like if you look at that video and she says that bullshit for me to come in, all right, let's say, all right, we physical, she's a zero. All right, cool, bet. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you so for me, and okay, well, let's put she's a zero, I don't mind that. Let's go with your theory. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
The way she talks in her videos and the way she degrades herself, devalues herself to me is a strike two on the back. Because if you don't,
Sure.
if
No,
you
I understand that.
so she's even uglier than like she's ugly now. She just turned uglier with the
Right.
bullshit she says
To you, yeah.
to everybody. There's not a
Well,
man
I
that
didn't say that.
there's no man that's gonna come. Even if the man was like, "Hey, fuck her looks," and she came out with that shitty attitude, you even you, Ryan, Pope Ryan yourself, can be like, you'd be like, "What the fuck am I doing here?"
I mean,
If
no,
you, if you
I don't believe that part is true. I think, honestly, if you want my true opinion, I think I would have a much harder time with the first part. I,
well, I
I'm
get
not,
that.
like, I'm not, obviously, I'm not saying that everybody has to look a very specific whatever. Like, I don't have, in my opinion, a super firm type when it comes to looks, actually, like physical looks. But I do personally, to have a long-term relationship with somebody, I do need to be like physically
Physically
attracted to
attracted.
them.
But what
Like
I'm
there's no,
saying,
I cannot ignore that. If I'm not interested in doing more intimate things with you, then we can't have a real relationship.
I'm not
So like
saying that.
I'm not, but I'm saying if the person in the question did have that, and I'm not saying like, oh, the most attractive person you've ever seen. I'm like, no, if I found a person attractive and they had low self-esteem like that, I would not have any problem going into that relationship. My hope would be that by virtue of my relationship that they would get a little bit more confident by and large, if nothing else. If it didn't work out, my hope is that when it ended, they were a little bit more confident in themselves and who they could be and who they were and who they wanted to be.
Right.
But no, I would not at all say, oh, you like, because people don't degrade themselves for no reason. Everybody who degrades themselves does it for a reason.
Oh, of course.
Like for me, anyway, whenever I'm self-deprecating, it's predominantly to diffuse. It's predominantly to try and lower people's guards. Other people, when they do it, they mean it. Like I don't typically mean it when I do self-deprecating jokes.
Why?
But what do you mean why? Because I don't actually think that way about myself.
But why would you give yourself the joke?
Yeah, like I said, to disarm other people. If there's a tense situation, you tell
Are
a
you talking
funny
about
joke.
yourself? A joke
Yeah,
about you?
it's really hard to disarm people if you've made fun of them, Jose. Yes. If you walk into a room and everyone's tense or awkward, and you pick one person in the room and make fun of them, maybe the rest of the room will start to, loosen up, but that person won't. But if you walk into a room and everybody's tense and awkward, and you say, "All right, I gotta get everybody laughing," so you throw yourself throw a joke about yourself. Again, it can't just be random. You can't walk in and be like, "Oh, I'm so stupid." Like, it has to be related to something you're doing. But if you can find a way to kind of lower yourself a tad in a situation like that, now everybody's laughing, everyone's more open, and now the conversation is flowing more naturally. I think, again, if you're not someone who has issues with self-esteem, that's a very, very, very good strategy. Like, people like to laugh, and let's be honest, people like to laugh at people. Like, we are all humans like to laugh at other people. And it's a nasty little habit that we have, but it is a true habit that almost everybody has. But if you start putting it on others, you are being a bully. And so the easiest way to get people to laugh, to get people to loosen up, is to give them a safe place to laugh at somebody. And if you're okay with that, then you're okay with that. And I think that that's just something that, again, not everybody can do that. Not everybody has that confidence. But for me, it's that way. But I'm saying for her, it's clear that that's not the case. It starts off that way, right? She starts off trying to play that way with, I get it. You know what I mean? Like the whole, like, I'm ugly. Like, she's trying to play it for a laugh, play it as a joke. It's clear by the end of those clips that she doesn't mean it. She's actually quite lonely and it's affecting her a lot. So the first thing she should do is stop with those jokes. She doesn't need to think about herself ways that she doesn't measure up to what most people would expect, etc., etc. Like, because when she does that, she's only hurting herself. She needs to do the opposite. She's thinking about all the things that she does have, all the things that she does bring, and all the ways that she is accomplished in whatever it is she does or would like to do. But no, if you don't have those problems yourself, then yeah, being self-deprecating is not. I don't believe being self-deprecating is inherently a problem. It's only a problem if you actually believe it.
Right.
Like a joke is not meant to be real. A joke is
That's
a
right.
self-deprecating.
It's
Right.
real. It's not real. It's
Yeah.
funny, not real.
Jokes are meant to be funny. They don't necessarily need to be real. So you telling a self-deprecating joke is fine because that doesn't mean you actually believe that about yourself. It could be an observation that you make about what other people believe. I've done that all the time. I mean, like I said, the Pope Ryan thing. And obviously, shows you know one that calls me Pope Ryan, but some version of that nickname exists in my other friend groups as well. And so, like, making a couple of jokes about that, right? About, like, the fun police or whatever, like things, you know what I mean? Like about being a stick in the mud or being a whatever, being a saint or a celibate or whatever. Like, make a couple of those jokes, everyone laughs, having a good time. I know none of it's true, but I don't care. So it's fine. It's me playing with people's expectations of me. But that takes like a lot of self-assurance to do. You can't just off rip start doing that. So I think that in her case, as 6'7" says, for her, don't do that. Don't try and play into those comments and those stereotypes and that what people think about you. Go the opposite direction. Be confident in who you are and find a person who's interested in who you are. Find people with similar hobbies, right? Because if you spend a lot of time together just talking about stuff you love, a lot of times passion rubs off in interesting ways. Two people who are passionate about the same thing could end up sparking a romantic interest as well, like if that's what you're looking for. And also, you don't need to have a romantic partner to have companionship. So, just having a group of people that you can rely on, that you can talk to, you can hang out with, you're not going to feel lonely. Like, I understand if she means lonely as in her bed is lonely at night, and that's a different problem. But if she just really genuinely feels lonely, like she has no one to talk to, you don't even need to date to fix that. You just need a group of people who wants to talk to you.
Join a book club or some shit.
Right. Painting. Go paint. Do some, what's it called? Some sipping paints. I did one of those this weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Actually, I just found one. You got me. There's one in Norwalk that you paint like your own custom sneakers.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. See, stuff like that. You go there, you meet
complex.
you meet artists, you meet sneakerheads. Now you've got like friends. And sometimes that's enough. If you're just really lonely and no one to talk to, sometimes having sneakerheads is enough.
Budge. All right, I have to just switch it up. So the comedian this week for this episode will be Game is Game. I had planned already. That's a comedian. But I have to share this story that literally just dropped a minute ago. Quick thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get to our comedian of the night. And it'll be two next week. Next week, the end of this week.
Yeah, Thursday
And
show or Friday show.
you guys have heard of the Super Bowl logo theory. So about a few years ago,
Yeah.
they've done this, right?
Yeah.
We have the
Didn't we
bill.
do this last year?
We did this story last year.
Yes,
And
we
then we
did.
had this one. It is kind of crazy that this logo is spot on this year. The Chiefs and the Eagles for the New Orleans.
Yeah.
Taylor's just straight up funny.
That one's just funny, yeah.
Even though that totally looked like it was going to be the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Somebody messed up.
Yeah,
So
they
guess
read the
what?
script.
They just dropped the Super Bowl logo for next year.
Next
It's
year?
a big
Okay.
one. Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco this year is where it will be.
Okay.
Let me present to you next year's Super Bowl logo, which may or may not give away next year's team. You guys ready? This is legitimate.
Yeah.
This is your Super Bowl logo for next year. Boom. Blue and white. So you know what that means. We're getting a Lions and Bills Super Bowl next year, guys. You heard it here first. Recording January 27th, 2025 for your 2026 Super Bowl, the 60th edition of this incredible event. How about
I'm just
that?
saying.
How about that, guys?
You
We
see
are going to
this
get
logo?
a blue. What are we going to? We're getting a Lions logo, Lions game at least, and then maybe the white for the Bills. What do you want to think? Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young's going to bring them to the Super Bowl?
All I know is that if the logo thing is true, then I feel like this logo is screaming the Lions are going to play a Pop Warner team and win by 9 million. This looks like a Lions logo with the San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge in it. Like this
now,
looks
as
like
we
a
said,
Detroit
like
logo.
these are agrees with the most with this.
I mean,
Sometimes
yeah,
it's mostly one color and then another one. Anyone could be white here. Hence, people want us to do the Bills comparison.
I say Bills. You can look at this.
A Bills and Lions Super Bowl. We
Bills
also
and
appreciate
Lions.
no red whatsoever.
No red at all.
All the other ones had red. Literally every
red,
single one has red.
I mean, what about Cowboys? I mean, I'd be shocked, but they look like this.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Colts look like this.
The Colts, yeah, maybe a Colts Lions Super Bowl. Anthony Richardson somehow figures it out. They straight up screwed the Jonathan Taylor throwing the ball against the Broncos at the end of the year, preventing them to score, and they lose the game. They lost the game back. So Colts Lions. Panthers, Lions. Well, no, that can't be possible.
Panthers be black and
Colts,
blue.
Panthers, Colts.
It's a light
At least
blue.
Lions, though.
It's a light blue. That's clearly the light blue is clearly the Lions.
Like, can the Lions also go far with their coordinators going? Ben Johnson.
I don't know. I don't know, but the blue there is clearly a Lions blue, I would say. So Lions for sure.
I like the logo personally.
I do too. It's a nice logo.
And
the white can be anybody, to be honest. Everybody's got a little white in their like color scheme, but in terms of primarily white, Colts.
Oh, it would be. So you think a Colts Lions Super Bowl could be the Giants with the?
Could be the Dolphins.
Predominantly white jerseys, though.
Jets.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Giants.
But when you think of Jets, you think of green. You know what I mean?
Green and white.
No, I know that, but you think of green, like, you know what I mean? Like, no one would be like, oh, white for the Jets. It's green. Green is Jets. Blue is Giants. You know what I mean? Like, white as a color is like, again.
See, when I think Colts, I think of blue.
No, but blue and white, like, it's a
the
very
one that would make the most sense with those would be Colts and Lions Super Bowl.
Yes.
Hella random.
I agree. Very random.
I do not know how Anthony Richardson can lead the Colts.
Maybe he
to
doesn't.
AFC championship.
Maybe this is Jalen Milroe's chance.
Oh man,
is he even in the draft? I don't even remember. I'll have to look.
Oh, he did declare.
Okay,
but
he didn't undeclare yet, so that's good. That's been happening. But
that's your Super Bowl logo, guys. We're getting the Lions in the Super Bowl. You know, it would be way better if it was this year, but
I think Detroit right now, listening to you right now, want to shoot you for jinxing them.
That's right.
Me specifically,
but not the Colts. The Colts are. This is our team.
The Lions have jinxed themselves for literally 100 years.
Win the Super Bowl. We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
I saw he got
Go
tickets to the Super Bowl.
Colts.
Shane the Colts fan. Now that's definitely a true Colts fan right
It is
there.
a true Colts fan.
So you can't take that away.
No.
Even Pat can't do that. All right, we got our game is game for the week. Here we go, guys. Let's just go away. Here it is. How to ask for a threesome. You guys ready for this?
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay.
How to ask for a threesome.
Your bitch for a threesome. Guys, look. If you want to eat some pussy with your bitch, you should probably take her to the strip club. It's the number one environment to get a third party involved with your sex life without shit seeming so weird. So listen up. Have your bitch wear something with her titties out and then take her to the strip club. Find you a couples-friendly stripper and get your bitch a lap dance. Inform the stripper that this your bitch first time at the club, so the stripper would do everything to make your girl seem comfortable. Now, when you tip the stripper, you're not going to give her money directly. What you're going to do is you're going to put the money in your bitch bra, and you're going to have the stripper take it from her bra. If you keep paying, the stripper going to keep on reaching in them titties. Buy drinks for all three of y'all to lighten the mood. Tease them bitches. Say, y'all kind of look cute together. Y'all should probably hang out sometime. After those two bitches bond with each other, you bond with those two bitches. Game is game.
Game is game.
Is that true, Jose? Is that how you properly ask for a threesome and has to be involved with a stripper?
It's the easiest way, sure. I mean,
yeah, I'd say the logic he uses sound.
I mean, you take a girl, you get a stripper, you do exactly what he says, but usually you pay her $20, get the lap dance from the back. Or you pay her 40 and you and your girl get a lap dance together. And you kind of go from there. You meet her at the bar, buy her a drink, buy both of them a drink, kind of chill after, maybe get another lap dance, and then kind of see where the night takes you.
Is that true too, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan.
I won't lie to you. Never solicited this, so I can't speak for it. I don't know if it would work.
Yeah. You know what, Ryan? Next time in Washington, me and you and your wife,
no,
we should go out there.
But anyway,
for research, Ryan, research.
I don't need to. And so I will do a lot of things for research. I will not ask my wife for a threesome for research. It just simply won't happen. So, and nor has it ever been something that we've discussed doing. I will say that in case anybody wants that. So that's not something we've discussed doing. So I would say it's because neither one of us really wants that. But whatever.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Life is life. You never know.
Let me ask you, would you be open to it if she came to you like, Ryan, would you be open to the idea? You don't have to say yes. But
marriage is about hearing the other person out.
Oh,
that's what I would say. However, more specifically, while I've never tried to make that happen, it makes sense. Everything he said made sense. Like if someone said, Ryan, you got to make this happen, I feel like I'd take this advice almost like step by step because it does seem like a good idea if this is the outcome you want. But I can't speak beyond just using my logic. That seems like it makes sense.
You got to get both of them really nice to get a yes. Like you got to get them, you got to spend a little money at the bar. I mean, keep getting shots with them, blah, 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 after 3 or 4 shots. And that nose looking kind of yes to me. So, game is game. You know what I mean?
Game is game. No, we knew that. Always automatic. Game is game.
Well, speaking of strippers and stuff, here's his advice on how to talk to strippers.
Okay.
How to talk to stripper bitches. That's the best time to go talk to strippers is when business is slow. The slowest days are Thursdays, and the slowest month is January.
So it's a good time to go on Thursdays in January.
This Thursday is the last good time to go.
You're damn right, because today is where you can start sending your taxes in. So you know you got a couple of weeks before State Farm be sending, not State Farm, where H&R Blocks be sending them checks out, and you know where that going straight to the strip club, and you fucked. So I'll be seeing all y'all. I see all y'all guys Saturday night at Sue's or some shit.
Mystique.
I'll be in Pittsburgh actually this weekend. So
now, when you go to the club, Thursdays and the slowest month is January, especially up here in the north. Now, when you go to the club, I want you to pay for a dance, but don't get a dance. Just offer her to sit down and talk to you. Strippers are amazing at conversation. You can talk about food, music, politics. It don't fucking matter. Just make eye contact when you talk to her. Because discussing the war on Ukraine while staring at her tits is just weird. Also, don't be staring at other bitches. You need to make it look like you've seen some ass before. Now, after about 20 to 30 minutes, go ahead and let her go and make money if she need to. If she decides to stay with you because the club is slow, then she's genuinely interested in you. At that point, I suggest you go ahead and ask her for her number. If she gives you her number, then go ahead and leave the club and don't talk to no other bitches. Strippers like two things. They like money and they like gentlemen. And we broke over here, so we gotta show some respect. Game is game.
And we broke, so we gotta show some respect. That was a good one.
So you feel right about that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we make friends who are strippers.
I mean, I've talked to strippers before.
Yeah, just like game is.
Yeah, like just talk. Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't ask for their number, but yeah, they're good conversation. They like to talk about things. They're not just So no, I think he's right.
The minute he said politics, I was like, oh, fucking Ryan must be smooth as fuck.
I've never done that. I've never decided to bring up the war in Ukraine while talking to a stripper.
Well, without the words, like, how do you think of Donald Trump's policies while you shake them to my face?
No, but seriously, without shaking of any kind, I'm saying, just hang out, ask questions. We talked about relationships. That's true.
Pope Ryan just came out. Jeez, just come out and talk. Jesus Christ.
We did. That's what happened. I mean, she was trying to upsell me the whole time, but I didn't want to, so that's not what happened. But
I got one. So we'll keep the sex work theme going. We all support sex work.
I definitely wanted to keep that going. But yeah.
So this one is, what is the most affordable countries and areas to support sex work? But it's different from what he says.
Okay.
This is what you can see. This is what he says. Cheapest countries to buy. Yeah. Okay, so here it is.
The cheapest countries to buy pussy. Well, Afghanistan. You can buy them bitches for $30 an hour. But a lot of them Muslim bitches only gonna let you fuck them in the ass because if word get out that she ain't no virgin, that bitch gonna be next in line for an honor killing. Or Greece. You could fuck a bitch who HIV positive for less than $20. Or Syria. If you go to the refugee camp, you can buy bitches for $7 a piece. Unlike the US, they don't keep all the war booty to themselves. Or Nigeria. You can get all that natural black ass for $2 an hour. But if you donate plasma or blood and they find out that you fucked that African bitch, you won't be able to donate for at least a year. Or Bangladesh. The average price of pussy over there is $1. The average price of pussy for these fat ass American bitches is $150. Last I checked, we don't pay by the pound. Game is game.
Game is game.
Ryan, your facial expression, you seem genuinely annoyed.
So, when you said at the beginning of the segment, do you support sex work? And I said yes. I did not mean exploiting women for sex. I actually meant the idea that women who wanted to could make their living.
Nobody's forcing them.
Yeah.
Like me.
$7 in a refugee camp. Jose.
I don't know. They need to cash in the refugee camp.
I mean, nobody.
It's not about force. It's about circumstances. I am against every single one of these examples that he gives. None of them seem regulated. None of them seem like the women are getting any sort of benefit from this.
It's only relegated in Amsterdam.
I tell you this right
now. It is relegated. It is regulated in Amsterdam. It's regulated here in the States, in Nevada. Like, there are rules.
Wait, Ryan, what'd you say, Jose?
I tell you this right now. The Muslim one that likes it up the butt. Me and Matt had a coworker at Kohl's department store, and her daughter would sell herself off, and she only would do it in the butt. So
you definitely gotta tell me off when we're done. I don't know who this is.
Okay,
you gotta tell me when we're done.
Who's that? That's a lot. Thank you for sharing, I guess.
But
anyway,
I want to know who's that.
My point is that while I think sex work should be something that is allowed, it needs to be done in a way that is not
I'll
Not
tell
for
you
exploitative.
this
not
right.
for $1 a person.
No, I tell you this
Certainly
right
not
now.
for $1 a person.
Greece is off the list. Period.
Well, yeah. What was that? It was like, oh, also she might be HIV positive. That was a wild thing to just throw in there.
Yeah, no, that's no. I'm gonna be a rare no on
That
that.
was something else that he was just like, yeah, and he definitely said it like a positive. It wasn't a positive, but the way he said it was positive.
The two more quick ones. This one is what happens when you get a cold text or ghost.
Okay.
What to say when your text message get cold? Guys, the reason why your text message go cold is because you wasn't interested or you wasn't progressing towards something. But fuck it, we got to get past that, right? Now you need to revive the conversation. So let's say you only talked to a woman for a couple of days, maybe even a week or so. Do you remember where she was from? If you do, ask her some shit like, do you want to talk now? Or are you still on some Texas shit? What this do is it show that you still interested. It show that you listened to her when y'all did talk. And it kind of give off this take it or leave it vibe where you really don't give a fuck whether the bitch talked to you or not. And then respark the conversation from there. If you don't remember where the fuck she lived, try this random one. Say, you wouldn't believe the dream I had about you last night. And don't text the bitch back until she interested in what the fuck you got to say. She might ask what the dream was about. Tell her, I had a dream that me and you actually hit it off. But as soon as you bent over and we was about to have sex, a condom fell out your butt. She gonna laugh and take.
It ended. I also learn how to take a lug knot off in the old school way.
Yeah, if it's stuck. But what was that dream?
I don't know.
What? Jose, we thinking that will work? I don't. I'm gonna come out and say
I don't think
work.
so either.
I think that might have been a clickbait. That might have been clickbait for him. Might have been just being a little cheeky, having a little fun. But game is game. So who knows?
My last one of the day, guys. How to respond to women who send nudes.
Okay.
How to respond to a woman that sends you nudes? Well, it's easy. You send butthole pics because dick pics, that's just low class. No, I'm just fucking with you. But on some real shit, there's 3 ways you can handle this. Number 1 is ask for more. You do this in a clever way. A joke that I normally do is, I'm not going to sign up for your OnlyFans until I get more previews. It's just indicating the fact that you like them and that you want to see more of her. Number 2, that would be the seducing method. You let her know exactly how them photos made you feel or that video, and you tell her what you would be forced to do if she kept sending you more of them photos. And number 3, it's the one-worder. The one-worder can be extremely powerful. Just a fuck with an emoji to it, or damn, or holy shit, just with an emoji attached to it. But those are the 3 ways you respond to nudes. Just make it genuine sometime too. If you find that shit really turns you on, let her know. If you enjoy what you see, let her know. If your dick got hard, let her know.
With the exception of one of the ones, the bad advice, which one's bad. That was pretty good too. With the exception of that one bad advice.
Oh, but you said that was a joke at the beginning. I assume that's what you're referring to. That was a joke at the beginning, yes. That was very good advice. And I would say that's true. I mean, I think, Jose, would you agree? Those are really the 3 ways to go about it. You need to be speechless. You need to try and be like clever, or you need to basically just be like, explain what's now happening because you received the pictures. Like those are the things those are really the only 3 ways to respond. I actually agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It depends on who you're with too, like who it is. You don't want to necessarily get too graphic with someone you don't like really know. You don't want those text messages existing if you don't trust somebody. Whereas if you do trust somebody, you do know somebody pretty well, you get them. Maybe the OnlyFans bit, right, or the being sly doesn't necessarily work as well as just being honest or completely without, completely speechless. Those might work better for someone you know a little better, but you don't want to be that way for someone you don't know as well, because you never know who's going to see those eventually.
Exactly.
Those texts.
Powerful stuff, Ryan. Powerful stuff, Jose. Great work. Don't forget to check us out on Thursday to see our preview of the Royal Rumble, and then check us out on Friday for another edition of the Tweet Cap. See ya on the other side. Keep Keep it crispy. See ya.
See you guys.
Crispy. All right, later.